What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the casual debate. This is a little thing that I promised you guys some time ago. If we got X amount of likes on a certain video, that we would have a Kai Havertz debate. And in lieu of the Arsenal game coming up, I felt that this was a fitting time to have this debate. So it'll be me debating in defense of Kai Havertz, where Ahmed is debating in the offense of Kai Havertz, I guess, against Kai Havertz. And we'll be talking about all things Kai Havertz and you know, related to the player and how I think he was misused at Chelsea. But before we get started, we have our panel right here. Of course, me, Marshalldbdx, Ahmed, the Bridge 258, who is I'm debating with, as our moderator, the lovely and wonderful Sarcasm City, aka Flawless. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for doing this, bro.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Love the soundboard as well. I've said it before, I say it again, love the soundboard. But yeah, man, appreciate you shouting me to moderate, and that's legit what I'm here for, people. I'm here. I'm not giving no opinion on it. I'm just making sure this fight stays as clean as possible because we got this in the bottom right-hand corner called Ahmed, Mr. The Bridge 258. So that's what it is. I'm just looking for a clean bout.
Exactly. That's why we have you here. And Oliver is also here to help out Flawless if he were to miss anything, or if Flawless has to go for whatever reason as well, we have him as a backup moderator. But big up to you, Oliver, as well, for joining in on this. And we have a poll in the chat for you guys as well. Before we start this debate, as usual, the typical housework stuff, smash up the like buttons, guys, because it does help out the channel. Mickey Joyboy has the right idea. Smash up the like buttons. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss out whenever we do go live on any topic. Be sure to also check out the links in the description for Sarcasm City's link, Ahmed to Bridge 258's link as well. He's on his way to 1K, so help him out as well. Comments down below. Let us know what you think about everything that we're going to be discussing in today's debate. And also, I will say, if you guys do smash up the like button, how many likes? I'm thinking, like, maybe if you guys like this, we continue doing this as a series where we'll have other discussions as well. I'm thinking maybe if this video gets 100 likes, then we'll bring it back and do it again. Fair. So I think that's a fair amount. We've hit 100 before, so, and we have the subscriber base to do it, so why not? But yeah, get this video up to 100 likes, and then we'll probably bring it back. You know, I don't know, Andrew. This is this guy over here. He does hate him a lot, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if there's a part 2 to this, we'll bring you on for the next one after I smoke this guy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. And then as usual, guys, check out the memberships. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. It does help out the channel tremendously. But yeah, so I'm gonna start this off. We'll have a poll at the end. You guys decide who you think won this one, if there is a winner. But yeah, I guess I'll start this off. So, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the many few, I think Kai Havertz was misunderstood at Chelsea. Everyone, you know, you always hear the argument, what's his best position? What's his best position? And I always thought that the best position for Kai Havertz was clear, attacking mid. And this player, ever since he was brought into the Premier League, barely ever got a chance to play in that position. And even if he did get the chance to play in that position, we didn't have the proper players to support the position he played in. So I think Havertz, had he had the right tools, had he had the right opportunities, the you know, consistency to play in that position, I think we would have been just fine with Kai Havertz and we wouldn't be complaining about him. I think a big part of the reason that we complain about this guy is the price tag he came in, which he doesn't choose the price tag, obviously. You know, he was cooking in the Bundesliga. He has great stats in the Bundesliga, which we'll get into, of course, and comes into this team. Again, he came into a team that in a window where we bought a lot of hype players. We bought a Timo Werner that was second fiddle to Lewandowski, right? Second best goal scorer in the Bundesliga that season prior that we purchased them. So, okay, then a hype player, Ziyech. He cooks us in the Champions League. Frank Lampard wanted him. We got him into January prior to that transfer window. He finally comes in, another hype player. And Kai Havertz, another one that a lot of people wanted him around the world. He was one of the most sought out young talents. And we won the negotiations on him. We bring him over for the price that he was at the time. I think it was like around 80 million with add-ons and such. I don't remember off the top of my head all the add-ons. He comes in and doesn't get much of a chance to play in the attacking mid position in his first season. Gets played into center mid position, then gets put at striker, sometimes put at the right wing, sometimes even at left wing. Didn't really get much of a scruff at attacking mid. And the games he did get attacking mid, he did pretty well. And he helped us in those games. Following season, we have a striker issue. And Romelu Lukaku doesn't work out either. We put him as a striker. Most of his games played as a striker. He's not a striker. And then the season after that, almost all of his games, he had, out of 32 games, only 7 games were as categorized as an attacking midfielder. So again, how can we expect a player whose most comfortable position and his most prolific position is at the attacking midfield? How can we expect a player like that to really flourish at Chelsea or really flourish in any team for that matter? Because he's not cooking at Arsenal either. And Arsenal's been playing him as a left mid and again as a striker. These are not the positions that he plays. So that's pretty much my argument. I think this guy has just been greatly misused, greatly misunderstood at Chelsea. And it just doesn't, again, what player is going to flourish when he is not played at their best position? It's not like Timo Werner. When we brought Timo Werner, we played him as a striker. We played him as a left center forward, a left attacking mid. And in some games, he did really well, but he couldn't finish. And as a striker, you need to be able to finish. Kai Havertz is not a striker. I don't expect Kai Havertz to have great finishing because he's not a striker. And I say this over and over and over again. And you could say Bundesliga tax, but Erling Haaland came from Bundesliga. He got played as a striker, and he does just fine as a striker. So I don't think it's a Bundesliga tax. I think it's just simply that he was misused and misplayed at Chelsea Football Club. And now continuing on at Arsenal. So that is my argument for why I think Kai Havertz was misunderstood and misused, and we failed him at Chelsea.
Ahmed, the floor is yours to respond.
Thank you guys, both of you, for coming along. Thank you for the viewers for coming along as well. Kai Havertz, in my opinion, was not actually misused at Chelsea. Kai Havertz was given opportunities to play in a number of different positions in which he had played for at Bayern Leverkusen as well. At Bayern Leverkusen, Kai Havertz played as a striker. At Bayern Leverkusen, Kai Havertz played as a right winger. At Bayern Munich, Kai Havertz also played in the 8 role. So in all these positions that Marshall has said that he is not able to play in, he has played in those positions. Say what you will about Lampard, his management skills, and his not and all the other stuff like that. Lampard gave him ample opportunities on different places throughout the attack to do something, and he wasn't able to do so. Under Tommy Tuchel, Tuchel used him essentially when there wasn't no Lukaku. Obviously, he used him essentially as the false nine. A false nine's duty is a mixture of both a striker and an attacking 10, of which Marshall speaks on. And to be honest, his best season at Chelsea was in that position, in which he played 35 games in the Premier League for us, scoring 8 goals and assisting 4 times. So as such, he played in that position, which had the parts of the number 10 role and the strike role, and he did his best season there. So are we saying that Tuchel played him out of position because he played him in a false 9 role? A false 9 role essentially is a CF, a cam, essentially. He's playing like that. Essentially, he's holding up the ball, passing it into his wingers to help to create the chances there. So we talk about that. There's that. I also would like to say, Marshall talks about Timo Werner. He talks about Hakim Ziyech. Now, I would agree with both of them have basically been bust at the football club. There's no denying that too. However, I feel like someone like a Ziyech may actually have a more warranted reason that we may have not compared to Havertz, in my opinion. Right? Ziyech barely got any time to play. Whenever he wasn't playing, he was injured. And it just seems like we were playing him out of position compared to someone like a Kai Havertz, if I'm being honest. And with Timo Werner, obviously, he sadly was not doing the job that he wanted to do as a striker. However, we accommodated him by being the left wing, in which he was at least provided us something that season, right? Whereas, guess who? Kai Havertz, we tried him in the right wing role. We tried him in the 8 role. Everyone here remembers, I'm pretty sure, if you were to ask Oliver, if you were to ask chat, Chelsea versus Wolves, 2020, November 2020. He played in that cam role. I can even tell you the amount of minutes that he's played in. Bear with me for 1 hot second. I already got this literally lined up for myself. Yeah, he played 71 minutes, produced nothing. This is a role that you've spoken about that he plays so well in. And I would just like to also add, I've been looking as well, particularly at his Bundesliga stats. The season before he came to Chelsea Football Club, in which he was playing striker, left wing, right wing, and in that 8 role that we spoke about, he only produced 12 goals and assisted 6 times that season. To be a cam, you need to be producing, in my opinion, more than 10 goals. Kai Havertz in his footballing career, has not produced at best minimum 10 assists in his own league per season.
Chris?
That's the question that I've got. And for me, the question for me when it comes to Marshall, bro, the stats don't lie. I've got more stats that I can even keep on giving in, but I'm going to hold on to them. I'm going to wait for your answer, my friend.
Okay. So, first thing you had said was Havertz played as a striker and a right wing at Leverkusen. So, sure, he has played those positions. And again, there's nothing wrong with the player being moderately versatile. We can say a lot of players in today's day and age are pretty versatile and so on and so forth. But the thing is, with versatility, you still have a consistent position that you play in. The only reason you're being asked to be versatile in that position in Havertz's reasoning is probably due to injury, probably due to rotation, because we're talking about a Leverkusen that was playing European football at the time, the Pokal Cup as well. They do have competitions outside of just the Bundesliga. So there's that, right? And even with your argument that he played right wing and striker and all this and that, in the 18-19 season, he played 10 games. No, I'm sorry. 20 out of the 34 games that he played, he was categorized as an attacking midfielder. He played 20 out of the 34 games as an attacking midfielder. That's more than half of the games in all competitions in that season. Then 18-19, 17 out of 30 games in the cam position, or I should say 19-20. Sorry. So he's primarily playing in attacking midfield, despite what you said about him playing right wing and striker. Just because he played right wing and striker doesn't mean he necessarily that's his best position, which is my argument. Is if you're not going to play him in his best position, you can't expect him to be consistent. Even in the Tuchel season that you mentioned, how much did we complain about the rotation of that attacking 3? How is a player supposed to be fluid and good in that position when he doesn't know who his striking partners are going to be, who his attacking partners are going to be? We have the same complaint last season as well. I think last season we didn't have I think we had maybe 1 game or 2 games where we had the same lineup. Our lineup kept constantly rotating, so you can't build chemistry off that. How is a player supposed to match up with other players, link up well with other players, and the other player also supposed to know where Kai Havertz is going to be in his position to take advantage of, which we know Kai Havertz does good runs in the box. He can't do that. So, okay, you said that about Havertz at striker at right wing. Okay, so he mostly played at attacking mid, which is my point. Then Lamps gave him chances. I want to show you this. So let's see. The season that, and I got to find right here. I think this is it, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is it. All right, let me pull this up for you guys. And Ahmed, if you have anything you want to show on your screen, I can pull it up as well. So right here, this is the minutes played per position map for Kai Havertz at Leverkusen before he came to Chelsea. 57% of his minutes were in the cam position, 11% in center mid. Only 12% and 20% of those minutes of the 2,523 minutes that he played at Chelsea or at Leverkusen were at striker and right wing. So he wasn't even playing in that position that much. And we go back to at Chelsea. Comes at Chelsea, first season, 845 minutes. That's a third of what he was getting at Leverkusen. And in that third of chunk of minutes, 35% of them were in cam, 38 center mid, 11 in right wing, 6% in striker. So again, he's not playing in this position. And this is my point. Tuchel played him as a false nine, but even we could say here as a false nine, you don't have a striker. You don't have a focal point. Even as a false nine, him as a striker, or as the false nine, I should say, he is that focal point in that attacking position. Where in Leverkusen, he wasn't that focal point. He had Volin up top. He had Bailey and Diaby, Brandt. He had other wingers. And the other thing too, yes, Ziyech, even Ziyech, who didn't work out at Chelsea, we mostly played him in the right wing. That is his strongest position. And he is not the type of winger that complements Havertz when you play him in the 10. Why? Because Ziyech likes to drift inside. And I can show you the heat maps. We'll get into that. But again, that's not the type of players that Havertz had at Leverkusen. Wingers that would go wide and stay wide and give him the space to go in through the middle. He wasn't the focal point at Leverkusen. They had a striker. As a false nine, he is still the focal point. Even though he does drop in to be a number 10, he's still that focal point because he is supposed to be that striker come into the box. Yes, I'm
not understanding the point. If you don't mind, can you reiterate it for me, please? So you're saying at Bayern Leverkusen, he wasn't the focal point of the team.
He wasn't.
Is that the point? I just want to understand that, just to make it clear for myself.
Yes,
you're not saying that. Okay.
Focal point because.
And how many more minutes? Okay, yeah. Okay, fair.
That's fair I got enough. You.
And how many more minutes did he play in the Bundesliga, if you don't mind?
This is just the season before he came. 2,523 minutes.
All right. They came with stats, people. You know what I'm saying? You getting numbers. Yeah, exhibit A's, exhibit B's, exhibit C's. I respect this. This is good. This is good.
Gotta do some research. We got to show the people. Listen, I have the world against me on this. So I had to come prepared with receipts, with stats to show people that I have a strong argument as for why Kai Havertz was misunderstood.
Hey, Marshall, you're a very smart individual. You know exactly why the world is against you. But go on, carry on. You
exactly why. Listen,
you know why.
Listen, if this debate would never have happened if the argument was Kai Havertz as a striker is shit. I agree. He's not a good striker. He does not finish. We can look at his stats. Let's look at his FBref stats. Ahmed, you could appreciate this. So FBref stats. I'll zoom in a little bit because it's hard to see, right? So we look at the stats for this season versus other forwards. This is shit. This is not good for a striker. He's not a striker, but look at what else he's good at. Passes, pass completion, progressive passes, progressive carries, tackles, interceptions. This isn't what you want a striker to do. This is if you blindfold test, if you take out the name Havertz, do you think that's a striker?
Nah, you know what? It kind of looks a bit like if the goals were a little bit better, it looks a bit like Bruno Fernandes, but we're not here for that. But go on, carry on. Carry on.
That was an argument when he came in too, right?
Yeah, just just say it.
It's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's not a striker. So him being played as a striker here at Chelsea, I don't expect him to get goals and assists because he's not that guy. Yeah, I expect him to get assists. That's what I wanted him to play as a number 10 when he came into Chelsea. I thought he was going to compete with Mason Mount, but then that never happened.
So you think, even though you're saying his best position, and this is just me mediating, is as an attacking midfielder, when you play as a 9, a false 9, which we've seen him do for Chelsea at times. Obviously, I don't know the minutes, but I've seen him play the games. Ahmed made the point that those skills are transferable. Chelsea should have got better, but he should have performed better for Chelsea because those skills are similar. When you play false nine, there isn't too much difference between. Well, there is a difference, but the skill set is still very, very similar from playing as a false 9 or playing as an attacking midfielder. If we take the best attacking midfielders in the country right now, guaranteed most of them could probably be effective, not as effective, but would be effective as a false 9.
My argument for the false 9 debate is that even as a false 9, as a 10, they are similar positions. But what's the difference? The big difference is that as a 10, you ideally have a striker. As a false 9, You have to step in and be the striker. You're playing without a striker, essentially. You still become that focal point in that outside the box area, in that penalty box area. Mm-hmm. So he's still kind of like, he's coming in to be a striker sometimes, then he's coming in to fill that cam role. So like at Leverkusen, they usually played with a striker, which was Volland. So he was able to pass the ball to a striker, get in positions. Volland would distract the defenders, and that's when Kai Havertz would flourish. When he had that space right outside the box, that's where he got most of his goals, which we can discuss. But I mean, I feel like I've been talking a lot. Ahmed, go ahead if you want to go, counter any of these things that I said.
So Marshall spoke a lot about the fact that he's played the majority of his time as a cam. 20 out of 20 thought in the 17-18 season, 17 out of 30 in the 2019-2020 season. Now, I can say that's fair play. Yes, he played as a cam, but and you spoke about how many minutes he's played. I think if you just go to the previous slide for me, because that's the one that was at Bayern Leverkusen, you said he played over 2,523 minutes, right? And at Chelsea, he's played 800 something minutes. Now I'm gonna,
the first season at Chelsea.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what. Yeah, I understand that, right? But now the thing for me is that there's a difference between playing for Bayern Leverkusen and playing for Chelsea Football Club. At Bayern Leverkusen, you're gonna be allowed to make the mistakes. You're gonna be allowed, to have that time, that pressure to do what you need to do. At Chelsea, however, it is not that. That is not the case. When he came to Chelsea Football Club, we need to understand also the time period he came in. He came in a period where we spent 200 million from COVID, right? We had brought in obviously Timo Werner. I think it was Thiago Silva also came in that season. What was it called? Ziyech and others.
Mendy, Chilwell.
Mendy. That's what I was like. So for me, at that time, at that period in time, that period of time, he wasn't going to be, what's it called? I think it was going to be avoided sometime, but like we wanted to at least see something where we could have been like, okay, we've seen something. We know it's going to take him time to acclimatize within the first season. However, and I say a big however, when he started his time at Chelsea, I think the first game we started him on the wing because there was I think one of the players was injured at the time or something like that. Sure. And we played him there, but then we the thing is, and you've shown this if you go back to the Chelsea slide, if you don't mind. Lampard gave him chances to play in that cam position. 35%. That's the second highest amount of time that position that he's given him. To do what he needs to do there. And if he's not produced there, then Lampard as a manager, he needs to get points on the board at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We can't just keep on playing this guy in the same position again and again and again. Much like as we've seen at Arsenal, where they've tried to play in this position again and again and again, and it's not worked. Right in the 8 position, as you've seen. Now you've talked about the CM role 38%. Now I actually think that's actually quite a key thing. If you go to your FB ref, please. You've talked about how he's making the progressive, carries, progressive passes. Right now, what's often that I've spoken about previously is that as a false 9, one of the things that you are doing is that you're basically coming in deep. You're not a striker who's up top. You're someone that's a bit more deeper, getting the ball, turning, carrying the ball for a certain amount of time, then passing it off to the winger. So clearly, he's got those abilities as you've just shown us right now on FB Ref. 2.04 progressive carries. Surely, as a CF, he should be able to do that, bro. So are we saying that as a CF he's not able to do that? That's another question I've got to ask for you. Another problem, you said that versatility. Is about his versatility and that we shouldn't be making him that versatile. At the end of the day, this is the Premier League. This is the big leagues. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, players are gonna get injured. It's down to players now in the 21st century to be able to, if an art manager needs to do a job, you should be able to do a job. We're paying. We brought for £72 million. Yes, we understand we're not playing in actual position for this game or the next 2 games. But listen, bro, we're gonna once your guy comes back in, you're back into your spot. Because essentially, and you talked about lack of chemistry. Now, I think that is true at Chelsea in the striker position for the last 2 seasons. I can agree with you on some level to that, right? However, again, lack of chemistry. There's definitely lack of chemistry and lack of ability in your position. There's a certain standard that we should expect from you, whether you know the guy that's next to you or not. And the problem is Havertz was not producing that to the level of standard that you needed him to do. That's what it was. And you know, I've got a nice little stat for you, Marshall. Yeah, you know, you talked about lack of chemistry, lack of versatility, and lack of time. You showed your stats about the percentage of times he's played there. As a CF for Chelsea Football Club, Havertz has played 57 out of 91 times as a false nine. So are you telling me, out of all those 57 games, he has not accumulated, not known the amount of basic stuff that he needs to produce, the amount of play time the amount of how he needs to play there, what he needs to play? Are we saying, whether we like it or not, if you want to cuss out Tuchel or not, Tuchel knows his tactics. He knows that, he understands that position. You know, we can say he was under Tuchel for 2 years, guys. Whether you want to admit or not, right? And that is 63%, by the way, of his time at Chelsea. So that's more than his time, at Leverkusen. That's more than his time under the first season of Lampard. And that is 91 games, by the way. So that's the total amount of Premier League games that he's played. So I think it's rather unfair that the point you're making that he can only just play Cam. For me, that is, Marshall, the problem that we have now in the 21st century, is that, Kevin De Bruyne, you can say, he plays best position is Cam, but he can also play centre mid too, can he? And he can play that position to a very good extent. For example, let's see someone that's a similar level to him. Bruno Fernandes, for example. Let's say he's somewhere a step below him. Havertz is obviously not there yet, also in my opinion. But look at him. He can play that Cam role just like he can play like Havertz in that Cam role, but he can also do a job at the centre mid role if he needed to. So at the end of the day, these players or also on some level need to also have a secondary position.
Mm-hmm.
That's all and I think that's pretty much simple. And you know what? I wanted to get your point. I don't think you really addressed a point of mine, which is that you said that he's a Cam, and I put to you, a Cam has to at least have 10 assists, in my opinion. If he is a good Cam, a 10 assists minimum for me. He needs to be assisting a lot. And let me show you Let me show you this, and I'm going to give you his Premier League stats again. In the Premier League, 27 games he had in his first season of both Lampard/Tuchel. Only 5 assists in the league. In his second season under Lampard, his best season, in my opinion, which is the second season of Tuchel, when he went to the semi-final. That's 21-22, by the way. That's 21-22. In the Premier League, he only had 4 assists. In his last season at Chelsea Football Club, he only had 1 assist, and he played 35 games. Now, of course, there's you could probably say extenuating circumstances of how that went, but I want to specifically look at the first 2 seasons where there was some level of stability, in my opinion. 4 and 5, bro.
Okay, that was it. You're done with your point.
That's done with my points,
Okay, so I will address this since I forgot to address it. For the first one being the assist. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. Yes, and that's also what I expected from Havertz to get assists. However, you mentioned earlier that, we looked at the graph here, 35% of games played at the Cam position, which, that is a good percentage, but again, 845 minutes played. You're not going to be doing much with 845 minutes played. And even 845 minutes played in that time that he got to play in that Cam position in that first season, he got 5 assists.
Yo, Marshall, before you carry on, is this audio moving a bit funny for you, man?
I can hear that,
your audio's moving a little bit funny, that's all. A little bit.
Yeah, you clip it a little bit,
A little bit. No stress. While we do that, hey, make sure you bump up the likes on the video. I don't know how many likes we're on, but guess what? It's not enough. Like check 1212. Let's bump up the likes. I casually debate live stream. Make sure you get your opinions in as well. Share across all the socials. Make sure you follow at Casually FC across all socials. And on top of those 2 things, subscribe right here to Casually FC as well. Make sure you subscribe to Ahmeds Channel, The Bridge 258 also. And we will don't worry, man, Marshall gonna get to your comments, people. And of course, if you super chat, I'll get to it as well.
Of course.
Yes, I'm doing my best to multitask, people. I'm trying not to get distracted by the chat because I'm debating Ahmed and not the chat.
Nah, you're doing your thing, man. No stress.
Can I actually,
good with the mic, though?
Just 1 second, Marshall. I actually just realized something, actually, if I may. This tweet is from January the 9th, big man. So that means this is only for the first half of the season. So you're not even showing me.
I got the rest of the stuff.
For the full
I got
season,
the rest
bro.
of the stats.
So That's kind of crazy, bro. You only that 2,000 minutes, something like that. That probably could be for a whole season, if you're not mistaken. No,
I can show you the stats for the whole season. I have them here as well. But regardless, just 1 second. Is the mic better now?
Yeah. We can believe that.
Okay. So even if this is for half a season and not the whole season, Ahmed, to have 845 minutes by half of the season, 5 assists in that season, where 35% of the games he was playing as Cam, because we know the rest of the season he wasn't really playing as a Cam, he was playing as a false 9, and he wasn't playing in his strongest position. Regardless, we could go back to his Leverkusen stats, right? And I got them right here for you. So give me 1 second. Let me just pull them up. Leverkusen stats, and here we go. Leverkusen, if we're looking, where do I have it? And bear with me, people, as I do have
good,
these
man. They understand,
scattered
man.
about.
We get into it, man. This is court. We get into it. Don't worry about it, man. You gotta bring up all the evidence, man. Exhibit A to Z. That's what it is.
Okay.
They know the pattern.
So Leverkusen season in general. Let's do
all right,
it.
I've got a stat for you. Do you want me to give it to you?
Yeah, sure.
He played 2,460.
Actually, I have it. Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. I have it right here written down. So at Leverkusen. Oh no, I don't have it written down. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ahmed. Say what you were gonna say.
He had a total Bundesliga minutes of 2,463.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Chelsea, he had 1,519 in the season after, in 2021. Yes, how many minutes he had in the Premier League. But that total was up to 2,519, by the way.
He was given less minutes in the Premier League.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
so
that's
he had less minutes in the Prem. If I'm looking at all seasons, let's look at the 19-20 season. No, that's the season he came. No, that's the season he was still at Leverkusen. So I'm gonna pop this up. He was still at Leverkusen. 18-19 was the big season for him, and 19-20 was the season he was still at Leverkusen. So if we look at Leverkusen stats, 18. Again, this was at Leverkusen, Bundesliga tax, right? Whatever you want to call it. 18 goals, 9 assists in all competitions. Only 6 assists in the Bundesliga. Again, we're talking about a 17-year-old Kai Havertz at this time as well. Still developing player. You still got to give him time. And I think most of us were going to give him time as well when he came into Chelsea. We were all saying, first season, you got to adapt. We look at 18-19.
Yo, your audio's gone, Marshall. Audio's gone.
We can't hear you, Bursky.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm having some technical difficulties with my mic today.
It's all good, man.
But I'm fixing it up. Anyways, yeah, just let me know if the audio cuts off again.
Yeah, got you.
Again, this season, 18-19 season, I think he was 17, 16. I don't remember the age again. But 20 goals, 7 assists in all competitions. So he
Marshall,
wasn't.
If I may interject here, yeah, let's
go for it.
I want us to start interjecting. Are you not seeing something that I'm not seeing? There's a pattern there that I'm seeing. That why is it? Are you seeing that pattern that I'm seeing? There's a pattern that I'm seeing.
He's not getting many assists.
Not just that. There's another pattern I'm seeing.
He's getting more goals than assists.
He's getting more goals than assists, Marshall.
Yes.
So, again. We talk about the CF position, false 9 position. Essentially as a striker, he's getting the goals. So clearly he has that. But again, you say the same thing. And you know what? Yeah, I actually just thought about this right now. He's playing at Arsenal right now. He's got somewhat of the same idealized. What's the word? He's got the same sort of ideal positions that you could maybe say at Arsenal too, where he's playing behind the striker, whether you can Nketiah. Or Gabriel Jesus. Now, listen, Volland, he's a mid-level striker, so he's probably in bit above Nketiah's level, if you know Volland's time.
Sure.
But he's still doing but he's not even acclimatizing to that, bro. So what? This is what I'm saying to you.
This is okay, but this is my argument: is that the I'm not gonna pretend like I know Leverkusen like the back of my hand, but if you look at the top goal scorers in those seasons with with Leverkusen and Havertz. Havertz was a top goal scorer those last 2 seasons. So it's not like Volin was the focal point in the sense of like he's going to give you the goals. He wasn't the goal scorer in that team. It was Havertz. But the reason why Havertz was the goal scorer is because Volin's purpose served something similar to what Timo did, which in that Champions League final, which we'll show you the Champions League final stats in the heat map, Timo was able to distract the defenders and open the gaps and allow Kai Havertz to make the runs. We can't cover it in stats. It's hard to see runs made in the box in stats, right? That's not really a stat you can track. But if I show you the shots and where he shoots from, they're all outside the penalty box because that's where Kai Havertz feels most comfortable, outside the penalty box, running into not the penalty, outside the penalty box, but in that 18-yard box, running into the 18-yard box.
But again, Marshall, your point though, again, for me, it's kind of invalid because you're a CF. You're coming in deep. You're progressing the ball, giving it to the winger. But you are not the focal. But he was the focal point. But listen, even as a cam, you're a focal point. People, you can't just say the striker is just a focal point.
That's true. As a cam, you are a focal point.
You're a focal point. You're at the heart of the attack, bro.
Yeah, but you can. But as a cam, you can serve to be the focal point in the midfield, or you can serve to be a focal point or a distraction in the defense. When you're a striker, yes, there's gonna be. What I mean in when you're in the offensive side, the defending team, they have the defender. They're gonna be defending Volin, right? That's gonna be the main guy you're gonna be protecting the ball from. Is Volin, not Kai Havertz. It's not like you're gonna be pressing Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is running into the box.
You have to be pressing them both. You have to. But the thing is, any normal team knows if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, you have to be able. You have to defend both the striker and the central attacking midfielder because he's essentially he's essentially like with a 4.
But what position is most likely to drag a defender out of position? Are you going to tell me it's not the striker?
Both. I said both. I'm not just saying that not just one of them. I'm saying both of them have the ability to drag the attacker out depending on how they play. But the thing is, the cam is at the behest of the striker. That's the difference. In the sense that when he's making that pass, he's making it into the striker and then the striker passes it into him. What the point I'm trying to... that was people mistaken at Leverkusen. He wasn't
a focal point where you play through him. But here's the other thing. Like, let's for example, let's take Volin out of the equation. He's there, right? He's going to be a focal point as a striker. He's going to take defenders out of position, whatever. The other thing that Leverkusen had that we don't have at Chelsea, and we didn't have at Chelsea in the time that Kai Havertz was there, is that they had wingers that played wide and wingers that were competent. We didn't have wingers. We had Timo Werner. And we had a Ziyech that liked to cut inside. He would cut inside. Oh, sorry. I should show my mouse over here. Where's my mouse? Okay, here we go. He would cut inside half the time. Yeah.
But the thing is, though,
to cut inside.
Ziyech, listen, I understand that Ziyech had a tendency to cut inside, but Ziyech also had a major tendency to hit long balls into the box too. So we have to take it both ways, bro. We can say he cut inside, but again, at the same time, he was also wide. And when he was wide and putting those balls in, where was Mr. Havertz? Come on, bro. We have to. Two things can be true. What your point can be true, but in addition, that was also true. The thing about Werner is, we can talk about the second season. He was a disaster. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But when the first season, when he was there and he got switched to left wing by Tuchel to be put on the left wing, he was literally the focal point of those attackers. They were going after him, and Kai Havertz essentially would essentially as the false nine be able to creep into that box and be able to get the goals in, and that's what people forget.
Yeah, and not all of them were coming in from across.
No. I'm not saying they came in from across, but I'm saying that both Mount and Werner were more so seen as the more, what's it called? What's the word in English I'm looking for? As the aggressors because of the way they would press compared to Havertz, and that would allow Havertz to have the space to be able to do what he needed to do. Because they were seen as the oppressor. Because remember, Mount 1920, I always give praise to Mount 1920 in the sense that that was probably one of his best seasons, right? He was pressing, he was really a driving force in that attack. Similar, even Werner to an extent. Listen, we can say he wasn't striking, but on the left wing, he was giving us a lot of work and a lot of dragging players across so that to give Havertz that space too. So it's a bit unfair on that one still, bro.
I don't think it's unfair. I think what's unfair is that you're trying to say that Havertz was given the space, but forgetting the fact that he was also a focal point because he was a false nine. He was the striker. He was whatever you want to call it, the center forward. There was no one in front of him to give him the space to take. What was good is like this chart is, I have this chart here to show you where most of his shots were being taken from, right? They're in this 18-yard box. A striker mostly spends his time in the penalty box. Outside the 18-yard box is where he was getting most of his goals at Leverkusen. He wasn't given that many chances to make runs into the 18-yard box because he is the focal point.
Bro. But all
those are his goals.
Showing, bro. Those are his goals. And where are they in? The box.
No, not necessarily. Well, they're in the 18-yard box. They're by the penalty area.
Bro,
but
these
again,
are in the 18-yard box. Let's not get twisted, bro. That is the danger area. Whether you want to admit it or not, that is the danger area. Hopefully, our moderators can agree on me with me on this. That box area is the 18-yard box. Where
yes, I agree.
Like, and also, listen,
sure.
styles make fights at the end of the day, right? Flawless knows that that's a boxing term. At the end of the day, at Leverkusen, they had their own style to box with. At Chelsea under Tuchel, we were playing a back three. That was his style of play. That was what was helping the team and was making the team work at that moment in time. Now, Kai Havertz, Kai Havertz works well in the CF role for a good, I think, half season. I would say yes, he wasn't providing us goals, but then when we brought in Lukaku, we thought that would change. Mm-hmm. Sadly, of course, we know what happened to the Lukaku situation, so that will always be, in my opinion, a big what if. All right, we can say that's a what if maybe, but at the end of the day, we gave Kai Havertz multiple opportunities, because I don't think there's anything else that we can really say about this anymore, because like I feel like we're grasping at straws here. We've said I don't know what else I can say to you. That
the opportunities he was given, and again, okay, first I just want to land on this point. Yes, he got most of his opportunity, most of the shots he was taking were near the penalty box by the goal box, right? Again, this isn't where he flourished at Leverkusen. Most of his goals were near the outside of the 18-yard box, right around here.
Marshall,
hold on, let me just land real quick. Okay.
Pause.
So again, he's not a finisher. If you had a Didier Drogba in these positions getting shots and these positions, most of these are goals. That's not what Kai Havertz is. He's not going to score you goals from here because that's not where he's not a finisher. Where he was prolific at Leverkusen was outside this 18-yard box, right behind the penalty shot box. So again, look at hold on. I'm losing my train of thought.
Cool, again, it's all good.
We're not putting Kai Havertz in his best position here. We're not giving him the chances he deserves in the position where I think he's most prolific. And again, he is the focal point. He shouldn't be the focal point. Yes, you were saying before Timo Werner and Mason Mount would take defenders away from him. But what about the striker? What about defenders in front of him? He had space and defenders being distracted in front of him by a Voland.
So let me actually get to those 2 points. I wanted to get to a point before that, in which you're saying we shouldn't be expecting him to score goals in the 18-yard box. That is absolutely wrong in my opinion, because as a player, as a player,
as an attacking player, you should be scoring in that. You should be scoring.
But as you get older, you should be getting better at finishing, bro. The older you get, the more, especially as a cam player in the 8 role or in the 10 role, you should be getting better at being much more prolific at finishing. That's what it should be, bro. It shouldn't just be, outside the box FC. You know what I mean? Because then what happens when it's inside the box? You know what I'm saying? If the striker's not scoring on his day, if the wingers are producing the chances, what's Kai Havertz doing though? Okay, you need to go outside the box. Okay, the defenders all know. Okay, let's just block the front row. Come on, let's not do that. And then the second thing is, bro, again, you talk about, Voland was taking defenders away from him. At the end of the day, too, again, this is another thing. As a central attacking midfielder, there are times where you're going to have to face defenders too. And when that happens, it's about growth. You should be able to have some sort of ability to allow you to get to bypass those defenders. Like, I feel like, Marshall, like you're giving this guy so many excuses, right? Which are not, in my opinion, valid enough. Because when you really look at them in detail, you can really break them down, my friend. That's all it is for me. Like, I don't really know. For me, in my opinion, I'm not sure what else I can add to this debate from what I've added, because I feel like I've given too strong of an argument here that that the reality situation is Chelsea. I will give you this. You can say maybe Chelsea had under Lampard, maybe there was a minor factor where we failed him. right? I can say that. But in general, Chelsea did not fail him. The fact is that reasons why I looked to him, in my part, the majority of it is on Kai Havertz. It's really as simple as that. I'm ready for closing arguments, man. I'm ready for closing arguments.
Shut the fuck. No. I'm not done, dude. I have so much shit to show. You think this is done? You think this is done? No, son. Listen. All right. First things first. Again,
Ahmed, you can just respond to these arguments in that case, then, Ahmed.
Yeah.
You keep making this argument that Kai Havertz failed and was given multiple opportunities because of his lack of ability to finish his chances. And I'm telling you, why are we setting the standard for Kai Havertz as a striker when it should have been as a cam the whole time? From the get-go, he should have been here as a cam. Yes, I agree. As a player, you should, as a cam, as an attacking player, you should be able to finish your chances. You want to know how many chances he failed or how many big chances he missed last season? 14 big chances missed last season. Haaland had double the amount of big chances missed. We weren't creating enough for him, even if he was given those chances. We weren't creating enough for him to even score. And listen, what happened when Timo Werner was placed as a striker position and he kept failing those chances? He was given a chance at another position and eventually dropped. We couldn't drop Kai Havertz. Why? Because we didn't have another striker. Romelu failed. And then last season, Broja got hurt. We didn't have another striker to depend on. Aubameyang, who knows what happened to Aubameyang? I wanted to play Aubameyang. You were here last season when I kept saying, let's play Aubameyang over Havertz. I don't think he should be a striker. I think Havertz benefits most when he's in a camp position, when he's setting up the player and when he's coming in behind and not being the main focus as a striker or as a center forward. So again,
I think Oliver was about to make a point. You want to make a point, Oliver? Quickly. I know you're moderating there.
No, I mean, I'll just add to that. On top of the strike, we did also have a David Datcher Fofana for half of last season, just as a completion of what strikers we had last season.
True.
Just to add to that.
Yeah. And again, for whatever reason he didn't play, he wasn't seen as a solution.
All right.
So the only reason last season that I think Kai Havertz was playing, and tell me if my mic keeps cutting off, but the only reason that Kai Havertz was being played as much as he did is because he was providing link-up play. It wasn't if we had another striker, I'm pretty sure he wasn't going to be starting each game out and out. He's not a striker. So why are we keep saying he failed because he's not a striker?
Marshall, again, you're just making my point. What does a false nine does? A false nine is not a striker. For Fabregas was playing false nine. But 1 second. For Fabregas was playing false nine. Fabregas was playing as a false nine, my friend.
That's Fabregas.
Wait, but is Fabregas a striker?
True.
Fabregas is not a striker. Okay, so I'm sorry, Marshall.
You're saying, Ahmed, you're saying he should be more competent at that because of the attributes he has.
Listen, you can make the argument about the big missed chances. We can debate on that. I don't mind. Right? Yeah, but you keep on like proving my point further. Like he's providing good link-up play. The main point of a CF and the main reason why we were playing that style of play was because we wanted Kai Havertz to be there, create the link-up play with whoever midfielders we had to the wingers, and then we would have the ability for the wingers either to put the ball into the back of the net or provide a chance for him. That's all it was, bro. And the problem for me, and I will repeat this and I will always say this, the big chances he's missed, that is his own fault, bro. The fact that he could have put the ball into the back of the net, has continued at Arsenal as well. So are you telling me that it's because of him that we couldn't put the ball into the back of the net or something? It's him. He wasn't able to put it back in the net. Same with Timo Werner. Same with Romelu Lukaku when he's at the football club. You can blame the club if you want to for saying why not play David Datcher Fofana? Why didn't you not play? What's the other guy's name? The guy that's
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. But at the end of the day, but being honest, when they were even playing, when they were barring like Datcher Fofana, who actually was playing quite well, when Aubameyang was playing, I mean, let's be honest, bro. And like also, I think the other thing that we need to add as well is that I don't feel like he all taking into context the situation that was going on at the club at that time. What was going on at the club at that time, bro? And we know. The Potter situation was going on. Yes. A lot of stuff was going on behind the scenes. So I think it's a bit unfair to just be saying, it's on the club for him playing CF. When he was playing under Abramovich era, when everything was lovely jubbly, under CF.
Again, you keep saying CF like that's his position. I'm arguing.
If I was to
hold on.
At Chelsea,
Listen.
but Marshall, at Chelsea Football Club, his position was centre forward. There is no other way to put a false line centre forward. That's what he literally called a position.
Then he was used wrong because that's not his position.
Bro, I'm sorry.
What was he playing? What was he playing at Leverkusen?
One second, bro. You can play one position at Leverkusen and play a completely different position somewhere else. All right? Kamavinga can play left back, but you can also play centre defense, CDM, and centre mid, bro. Okay? It doesn't matter. I already debunked your point about versatility. At the end of the day, in the 21st century, a player has to have at least some level of secondary position or some ability to be able to help out the team when needs be. Right? And the thing with Kai Havertz was, it wasn't just Tuchel saw this in him. Graham Potter saw this in him. The German manager Joachim Löw, was using him in the World Cup as a CF. You know, even the guy that just got sacked, whose name
Hansi Flick.
Hansi Flick, we used him in that position.
I'm forgetting Flick, but carry on.
Flick. And like, I haven't seen. I don't know if the newest manager.
That's why I'm here, Flawless.
Yeah,
but
props to you, man.
But the newest manager, obviously, we haven't seen him yet. The newest manager, we haven't seen where he's going to be used yet. But we'll see. And like the other thing for me is, look at Arteta as well. Arteta's used him as a striker if need be, and he's been using him as an 8. He's not even been using him as what you like to call the cam role. So is Arteta wrong as well? Are we saying that many managers are wrong that they've realized that he's not good in the cam position, bro? And listen, you know what? There's been something that we've been avoiding in this debate. We've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding it, and you've been avoiding it, my friend. Yeah, and it's a letter beginning with P. Physicality. That's what we've been. That's the word that we had been avoiding. People.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Right. Shout out.
Flawless, you want to answer this question real quick?
I was just clarifying. Yeah, I get to this question for Flawless. At what age can expectations be deemed excessive and unrealistic? People have unrealistic expectations for these under 23 players. There's so many variables with this because it depends on the ability of the player. So me and Ahmed can be debating a player who's 21 years old. I can think he has the world at his feet. Ahmed can think he's bang average. So then if we look at Ahmed's perspective on said player, he's going to think my expectations of him are unrealistic, whereas I'm going to think they're very fair. So I think you do have to look at the level of the player, the ceiling you think the player has, how much the player is coming to your club for, where he's going to fit, etc., what his current best attributes are, where he can improve, etc., etc. So this, I don't know. I'm guessing you're talking about. Let me know. There must be for you to ask that question as a certain player you're talking about who you believe has unrealistic expectations on him. And
just
I'm guessing, go on.
Just to add to that as well, I think a big thing to it as well was probably the time investment the club gives, because I do know that a lot of people. The problem with Havertz at Chelsea is that he played the most minutes and he underperformed. So there is an element of investing time in one player versus why couldn't we give this other guy an opportunity, and that will naturally create resentment.
Yeah, and that legit is once a player. I always say this all the time in regards to players. I don't defend any player in particular at my club, Manchester United. If you perform, that's the defense. I don't need to defend you. If you perform to a high level, I don't need to. And if you are underperforming, I can say the criticism is over the top. But even then, you're with average performances or below par performances, you're giving fans a reason to criticize you or sometimes go over the top. And we know there's no balance. Come on, this is the social media era where people watch a game and instantly respond to said game. They haven't even let the final whistle has just gone and somebody's got their tweet ready. You know what I'm saying? To bash the manager, to criticize whatever. Like, you haven't digested what's going on there. Like, certain games, there's an exception. If you get absolutely battered, I hear that. But if you lose to a stoppage time goal, you've not digested that. But yet you're quick to blame people. It's like, come on, man. But we know. No balance in... it's the stereotypical social media, fam. We know this is why spaces pop off. You know this. Go into space after one of the big six have lost or got a result, and you will hear the most outrageous takes. Burn it to the ground. Manager needs to be sacked. Get rid of all the players. But then if you win that game, say the Arsenal City game is a prime example. The overreaction to the Arsenal win. Let them had lost in that same fashion. Let Grealish have picked up the ball. I'm thinking, took a shot. It hit Saliba in the snot box, and it would have went in. It would have been on the flip. Arteta out. None of these players are good enough. Get him out. Get them all out. So yeah, that's what it is. Like, you can't really expect realistic expectations, in particular from the stereotypical social media fan, I would say. Yeah,
I just wanted to get back onto a point about the word I was saying, physicality. or physicality for sure. You know what I'm saying? But like on a rather serious note, yeah, we talk. This is something that me and Marshall were discussing. I think when I first started on Casually FC, when was that? But Marshall, do you remember? Was it like a year and a half ago now? I think it's almost been
I would say.
Yeah, a year and a half ago. One of the things that I said about Havertz is that in this league, you need to have some level of muscle, bro. Some level of like where you can hold off, players, in my opinion. And this is, and that doesn't matter for whatever position you play, whether it be left, whether it be right, whether it be central, whether it be cam, whether it be CM, CDM. You need to have. But like wow, Jez, you're a crook for them. You're a crook for
Shout out, Jez.
Yeah, but like on a real one though. But like, we're going back to it. Yeah, but like you need to have some level of that, right? And with Havertz, bro, whatever he played, right wing, boom, left wing, boom. But he's getting Trent and Calvin Phillips, bro, pushing him up. Trent, big boy Trent is got. Like, you see how scared that brother is? You know what I'm saying? If I push him, he's going off the Eiffel Tower, mate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's getting pushed up.
I don't know why Ahmed and Trent are at the Eiffel Tower, but we move. Carry on. Go on.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. I don't know why you two are at the Eiffel Tower. I have no idea. Hey, yo. All right, cool, man. Hey, if you and Trent at the Eiffel Tower, hey, Ahmed, this is a safe space. We all got dreams. It's okay, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Ahmed's fully turned on Reece James here. Like, he's gone full 100%, man.
See, I was thinking the same thing, Oliver, that he has fully, like, you're right back here. All right, first, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be at the Eiffel Tower in Paris with Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's okay, man. We don't judge. Is it funny? Yes. But this is a safe space, Ahmed. Somebody clip that, please, I beg. But go on. Please, somebody clip that.
The point I'm trying to make, though, is that even, like, these small, weak players, are like in the compared in Premier League level, I'll bully him around. Even when he was playing against Real Madrid, he was getting bullied around, bro. Like, do you not think that's like do you not think that even without like us talk about what his position is, his body type was failing him, bro. The thing about Berbatov was the guys that you compared to him, Berbatov, Van Persie, Dennis Bergkamp, comparing them to those legends, you know what I'm saying? I repeat, legends of the game, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, they had a similar body type to him, similar play style to him, but the difference was they also had some level of physicality to them where they wouldn't get so much bullied off the ball. Like, he was getting bullied off the ball, bro. Like, he would get bullied off the ball, and then he would walk up to the player like he's like some bad man, fam. Like, he's from the ends, like moving like this, like go move it. He's not gonna do nothing, man. You're not on the end, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what he was doing, Marshall. Like, let's be honest, bro.
Okay. So a few things. The first thing I want to address is you keep bringing up center forward, false nine, whatever. Okay, we can all sit here and agree that those are very similar positions to attacking mid to a number 10, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we can also all agree that there's a huge difference in those positions, false nine and center forward, versus the 10 where you have someone in front of you. Big difference. And that's going to change a lot. It's going to change a lot. There's an extra player in front of you. You have an option to pass in front of you. You have an option to take a shot and a rebound, forward's there to get it. You have multiple options when you have a player in front of you. And you keep saying, yes, multiple opportunities, missed chances, all that stuff at Chelsea. Fine. Again, he's not a finisher. I keep saying this. I don't expect him to score 10 plus goals. I was badly mistaken. And he's not a striker, all this. Okay. I think what happened to Kai Havertz at some point in his Chelsea career is that when managers don't have a striker or injuries happen, then you can play with the formation a little bit and move Kai Havertz to that striking position. I think in 2022, 2023, last season, 2021, 2022 season as well, that's an unfortunate factor that happened to Havertz. He was placed into that center forward, false line attacking role, striking role constantly, to the point where it seemed normal. It became his position almost. regardless of what his favorite position was, regardless of what his strongest position was. I think in the whole spiel of that, we lost what Havertz's best position was at Leverkusen. I think people forget what his best position was at Leverkusen. And I think now people, Joachim Low, Tuchel, Potter, even Arteta now believe that he is a striker. When he first came to Chelsea, we all thought he was a cam. I thought he was a cam. I thought he was a cam that could be versatile in the attacking positions and play as a striker from time to time. Now, you keep saying like, oh yeah, players like Kamavinga can play at left back and they're expected to be good in positions and be versatile. Sure. And you're right. They should be expected to be good and versatile. But do you see them play that position consistently? Often? Game after game? For most of the season? No, they don't. They get asked to do a job there, and they do a job. And we've had games which Kai Havertz was a striker, and he did a job. But you can't expect that player to consistently perform in that position. It's not ideal. We saw what happened when we put Christian Pulisic at left wing back. It worked for maybe a game or two, but it didn't work consistently. Same thing with Cho. And maybe it worked for a game or two. It didn't work consistently. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, again, we right wing back, worked for a game or two, but didn't work consistently. So you can't tell me that like, oh, because he should be good enough of a player to adapt into a position and play well. When again, that's not the position he's comfortable in. And we saw physically how uncomfortable he looked. And that's just one point, real quick. Just hold on. That's one
I'm
point.
letting you speak, bro.
Okay.
Guys, let me speak.
The second,
you thinking about
point.
You thinking about trips with Trent? Go on, carry on.
So,
Can you
while you're
moderate,
thinking
man?
about Trent,
What's the moderation go, bro? What's the moderation?
Yeah,
Why are you thinking about Trent?
unnecessary. That was unnecessary strain. My apologies. Go on. Sorry.
So you bring up the physicality, and I agree with you. He's not a physical player. He's not the most physical player at all. Again, for a striker, you should be physical, unless you're. I can't off the top of my head like. Was Aguero that physical for a small?
Oh, absolutely, he was.
Yeah,
Aguero
right, he was.
Aguero.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Even
almost all
Hazard was.
That's the biggest problem that Havertz has is that there's no his profile is just not successful in the modern day era, playing through the middle, whether it's a 10 or whether it's a 9. You need to have some form of physicality, or if you're not physical, you have to have like elite, like agility.
Technically, you need to be Ozil. You have to be either Ozil.
Well, we've seen even Ozil struggle.
But that's where I was getting at. That's where I was getting at. Like you can still play as a 10 and not necessarily be the most physical player out there. You don't have to be 100% physicality monster and be, as like there are players that are playing right now. João Felix. Last season, real quick, Ahmed. Last season as a number 10, João Felix. He's not physical, but he did an efficient job. And yes, he has his strengths. João Felix is number 10.
Bro, this guy was playing Atletico Madrid, big man. I'm not sure about that answer.
I think he's a prime example of what we're talking about. I think the reason why we see João Felix struggle is because the game has passed him by. I think physical, we just look at and think, and it's just natural. People think, oh, just strength, pace,
push
power.
Player off the ball and just run. Like
agility is a physical attribute that ties into that. Balance is also a physical attribute, and if you don't, you need something of that. No. Because that's why I think João Felix.
I was just about to say this too.
But yeah, go.
Again, like you look at a player like Odegaard. I don't think Odegaard is a very physical number 10 either. But then again, like this is what I'm saying. We talk about the physicality because he's playing as a striker, where you're going to be pushed around with other defenders. That's where we notice it the more. But I bet you, if he played as a cam, more percentage of what he was playing, more than what he was being used at as a center forward or a false 9, we wouldn't be talking about his physicality because he'd be prolific in other situations and other abilities. Same thing with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer isn't the most physical and physically imposing player, but he's doing just fine with other abilities, which again, Havertz wasn't given that opportunity because he was played as a center forward, as a false 9, without a player in front of him. He was the main focal point for most of the time we would attack and all that. What you were going to say, Ahmed?
All right, man. Let's just dismantle these points point by point. You talked about the fact that just because about the versatility point, and I said to you when I say versatility, you need to be able to play second position. Now he can play that second position, but the thing is, there's also another thing about versatility is that there's also something called evolution. Sometimes players evolve from their original position and become better at another position, and then they become.
But how long do you give a player that time to evolve before you realize that's not his position?
1 second, Marshall. Yeah. The problem is, though, however, many a manager have seen him in that position and believe that is the one for him. He has, again, let me tell you this: 50 out of 91 matches played there. That's not including the German in Germany. What he's played. That I'm talking about German. I'm talking about German national team. Yeah. So the thing for me is, yeah, whether we want to admit it or not, yeah, playing when he was playing, apparently that was a evolution that they saw in him that he could do and that he could play with his body type.
Hold on. I have to stop this too. Hold on. Because you're taking context out of this. No. Hold on. You're taking context out of this. I need to stop you. Listen, they may be playing him in the striker position, but that's not necessarily because they wanted to play him in the striker position entirely. A lot of it was because they didn't have any other options. What other striker is there for Germany that's as good as Kai Havertz? Timo? Timo was failing.
They had a bunch of up-and-coming top young players at the end they could have played.
But apparently not. Apparently,
but listen, at the end of the day, though, you can say all that, but they believed he was better than.
What other striker did we have other than Davidson Dacha Fofana, which we both agreed probably should have played more last season, that Chelsea was going to play in that position?
But again,
the season before that.
But again, you and I.
So you keep making it out. You keep making it out. So as if that's the best position we had options.
No. But I said to you again. I am not including the season under Tuchel, Lampard, and Potter. That whole season, I removed that season off of you. But I'm saying to you, Tuchel did it. Yeah, Lampard, even I would argue in his first Lampard/Tuchel season, he also did some parts of it and trying him as a striker too. So they are seeing something in him that he has the ability to do that, and they believe that was his next evolution. A lot of the reason why Havertz was also being seen like
again,
that was partially again because of Roberto, someone like a Roberto Firmino. Firmino was also a 10 when he was playing in Germany. But then they saw that he had the ability to be a striker, and then they made him a false nine with Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that...
Ahmed, let me respond to that Firmino thing.
Hold on. Firmino, all of us can agree that Firmino wasn't a prolific goal scorer either. Liverpool fans constantly kept saying what Firmino does best is everything outside of the attacking stats. He built up play. He connected really well.
He does, but if you put Firmino in this Chelsea side, he performs better than Havertz because he's a better player. He definitely, whether it's a 10, whether it's a 9, Havertz is the problem of, like I said, if you're not excelling physically, so whether that's, like I said, pace and power, acceleration, balance, agility, because that's one thing. That's like you mentioned, Odegaard, for instance. He might not be the most physical in terms of like just raw strength, but what he has is tremendous balance. His balance is, and that's what helps him so much in his ability. Havertz just don't have that. If we take just physical attributes and give him 0 to 10 and just list Havertz, just his physical attributes, he's not getting above a 6 on anything. And you're not.
I agree.
You're not gonna be successful, in particular in the Premier League, with that. You have to have some form of physicality. And when I say that, people, I'm not talking just strength, just pace, just acceleration, just power. I'm talking agility in that. I'm talking balance in that. These things are so important. So important.
Sure.
Yeah.
And listen,
I just want to reply quickly.
But hold on. One thing I need to tell you to give context to Firmino as well.
It's a comment. I'm talking
okay, go ahead. Also, Lewis, I want to invite you, but at the same time, I don't want to be dogpiled because this is already hard enough.
The point I'm trying to make, Jez, here is I'm not saying that they are the same player, but I am making the point that they both did a similar thing, of which the managers changed them from being 10s to false 9s. They can, of course, you can have different types of like maybe abilities of false 9s, but at the end of the day, there was a change in what's it called? How should I say? They both had a similar change at the end of the day. That's what it is. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to produce the same amount of value, whether we like it or not.
Okay, so going back to that Firmino discussion, right? The other factor that Firmino had that Kai Havertz didn't is that Firmino had Sadio Mane and Salah to create chances and to finish chances. How many chances did we fail to convert at Chelsea for the past 3 seasons? Part of the reason we got Romelu Lukaku is because we didn't have a striker. Kai Havertz isn't that guy. We didn't have a striker to finish chances. If we didn't need a striker, if Kai Havertz was the striker, why did we need to get Romelu Lukaku? So Firmino had that, and not even that. The way that Liverpool played was very attack minded, was very, go forward and constantly attack, constantly put pressure, similar to how we played in the Champions League with the Gegenpress, which we completely dropped that after that season. We stopped playing like that shortly after that season, in Tuchel's second season. So again, like, we're trying to compare like Firmino to Havertz, and Firmino had more tools that Havertz wasn't given.
But the problem is though, and this is what I'm going to say to you, back to you. You're saying that he had more tools and everything. That's fair enough. But at the end of the day, they still went through that same process. Now, what we can argue on is how effective they were themselves. That's the difference. How effective, the point I'm trying to make is how effective were they themselves in when that evolution took place. That is what I'm arguing. I'm not saying that, he has to be as good as the guys around him, right? I'm saying how effective those changes were. And the thing was, he wasn't as effective, it seems. But I think there was one more point I wanted to make. I talked about evolution. Can you go through your points again? There was like 2 more points that you made.
Firmino having Salah and Sadio Mane.
Your original points, not the Firmino points. It was original points.
That you can't expect a player to. Well, first of all, how long do you persist with a player trying to fit a square peg into a round hole until you realize this isn't working? Second would be how long. Also, you can't expect a player to play out of position for the most of the season and do well every single time when his best position is a different one. Like Camavinga, for example, you kept bringing up Camavinga. Camavinga's good, and he did do a shift, but you don't expect him to play there the whole season.
But the thing is, though, Marshall, we did try to give him other positions. The problem is Chelsea changed their whole formation. So the reality was we needed Havertz to evolve as a player. That's what Tuchel was trying to do with Havertz too, whether you want to admit or not. Because we wanted to still play the back three when we had Rudiger, when we had Christensen, and when we had Thiago Silva at the time. And we had arguably the two. Chilwell was one of the best in his position at the time. Left wing back, he was playing as one at his best there. Reece James, you know what Reece James is like. Jorginho and whoever else was next to him was usually doing a job at the time, which would usually be Kova, right? At the time when we were playing under Tuchel. This is specifically whom I'm talking about, those 2 seasons that we had, Lampard, Tuchel, and Tuchel, right? So that's the point, bro. So I think for me, I feel like we're going cross nuts and bolts about it.
I'm in nuts and bolts. You're the crackhead style. That is brilliant. Go on, carry on.
But like the thing is, hold
on, Ahmed, I gotta ask you this though.
No, but like,
why are we expecting an evolution out of Kai Havertz? Yet when we played other players out of position, we don't hold that same standard for them. How often did we sit here? Hold on. How often have we sat here and said N'Golo Kante doesn't work as a lone 6? Okay, evolve. No, why don't we have the same excuse for him?
No, because Kante was world class. Kante was already world class in the position. That was
and again, I'm not saying we should be playing N'Golo Kante as a full 6, but all of us.
When you are world class and one of the best we've ever seen, like in the past decade in your position, people are gonna say play him, and that's what Kante is. Like prime, if we do a Premier League 11 from 2013 to 2023, he gets in.
I don't disagree. I don't think he's world class. I agree. Wait, hold on. I don't disagree. He's world class.
No, I'm gonna go into your argument, bro, because you made the argument. Let me make a counter.
Let's go.
When we were playing Cho, bro, as the wing back, where was the loudmouths? Talking about Cho playing that wing-back position. When Pulisic was doing a job at wing-back. When, my guy, Ziyech was doing a job at wing-back. Your guy, Ziyech, sorry, not my guy. Your guy, Ziyech.
Your guy, don't do that. Don't run now. Don't run no trip. Don't run no trip.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that, bro. Yeah, when Ruben Loftus-Cheek evolved and we started playing really well as a right wing-back under Tuchel, people are saying, look at Tuchel. Look at Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's got a new lease of life. He can play as the right wing-back now. You know what I'm saying? He got Ruben back up.
Yeah, and no one was saying that when my man Kai Havertz was playing as a cam.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek, though, when he was at Chelsea, before the injuries, was a very highly up-and-coming talented player, similar to Kai Havertz, bro. And but after injuries, he was able to evolve. How can we not expect from Kai Havertz for him to not evolve? How can we not? I'm sorry,
Ahmed, if I may just add another Chelsea example, just to further the point as well. You've even got like Conor Gallagher, who was at Crystal Palace. He was an attacking number 8, and now he's developing defensive qualities. And Marshall, you praised that before. Just to add.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry. gonna send Lewis the link.
Wait, did I cut out?
Try not to. No, I heard you. It's just I'm
I'll be back in a sec.
multitasking,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna send Lewis. I'm gonna send you the
Oh.
link, but let's try not to dogpile me. I'm
know what,
trying.
Marshall?
I'm
You know-
already
you-
hard
you know
enough.
what,
1v1,
Marshall?
2v1.
I'm not gonna speak.
I'm
not
all
gonna
for it
speak.
for the
I'm not gonna speak.
content.
I feel like I've made all my points, to be honest. So I'm gonna let Lewis cook after this. I'll be silent after this. I promise you, bro. I'll actually be silent after this, just to let you
No,
hear Lewis
but
cook.
again,
Come join the mod team, Ahmed.
Yeah, I'll do
Again,
the
this is the thing. This is the thing. Whenever a player was played out of position or a player was played in the lone six, when they shouldn't be played alone six, we made all these excuses about Alcante isn't the lone six. Kovacic shouldn't be playing in the cam. He shouldn't be playing in the double. He should be in the double pivot with Jorginho and Austin. We made all the excuses for these players, but we never did any of that for Kai Havertz, despite knowing that he's not a striker. He doesn't fucking finish. And Lewis, big up Lewis. Thanks for coming on. Lewis is probably going to tell me he is a striker. And
I'm gonna
again,
be silent.
listen, Lewis, let me show you something. All right.
But before I say anything,
the
I just want to get your stance on
bro.
how we failed Kai Havertz, because I haven't seen any of the streamers on Never a Foul. So I want to know where you're coming from with this before I know where I'm coming from.
The thing with me with Kai Havertz is the reason that I think we failed him at Chelsea is because outside of that Lampard season, we eventually tried to make him into a striker when he was always a cam from the get-go. We look at his stats right now, right here. Despite playing as a striker, this is the stats in the last 350 matches or 300 in the last year compared to the big five, compared to other strikers, other attackers. And if you look at this, you don't put Kai Havertz on there. Does that look like the stats of a striker? No, it looks more like a stats of a playmaker, of someone that's going to be a cam. So my argument was always that we should have been playing Kai Havertz as a cam, and we didn't play him enough as a cam. I have the stats to show that we played him mostly as a false nine.
As a versatile player that could play numerous positions to a good level and improve.
He can play numerous positions, but if you look at what he did at Leverkusen,
so then how do we have the conversation that we played him out of position when he was originally bought as someone who was very well rounded?
Because I think people are confused when they said he's versatile. This is his minutes in the season before he came to Chelsea. The majority of his minutes, 57% of his minutes,
He's still
2,530.
seen as versatile. You do know that. That's why Real Madrid wanted him, and that's the reason why Arsenal went in for him.
I think you can be you can be versatile, but not necessarily you can still be versatile, but still have one position where is your biggest strength, which is what Kai Havertz, in my opinion, is. His biggest strength is as a cam. Yes, he can play some games as striker. Yeah, he can play some games as right wing in the Bundesliga at least. But most of his games in Leverkusen, where people saw him and were fucking glazing him, were at cam. And it's right here. 57% of his 2,523 minutes was played as a cam. Yes, you can say it's versatile, but most of the time he's playing as a cam.
Forget all of the stuff, because I'll look at the time that he spent at Chelsea. Why do we play him alongside strikers like Timo Werner, Aubameyang, Lukaku, and he couldn't do anything with them? Like, to me, as crazy as it sounds, Kai Havertz's best position is up front. Simple as. He is a striker. He's just a very crap striker who shoots the ball like a 2-year-old. And that's what his problem is. But he is necessarily a striker. He had 2 years in that position as a versatile player who should be able to understand the position at least. And he was the letdown. He was the failure. If he wasn't able to play as a striker, he wouldn't know how to get in the positions that you need to get in as a striker. He knew how to work off the ball. He knew where to be as a striker. He knew where to hold up the ball. He knew where to run to. He just couldn't apply himself. Had no composure. No strength, no finishing ability, barely any heading ability. That's on him. That's not us failing him. We gave him the most minutes last season. We gave him the biggest pedestal to succeed, and he took us to 12th. How did we fail him? He failed us, my friend. I don't get it.
Lewis, let me ask you something. And I'm hoping you can be a rational Chelsea fan. And if you can not rewrite history for me here. When we won that Champions League, why were we going for a striker in the summer?
Because Timo Werner was missing a lot of chances.
Exactly. Timo Werner was missing a lot of chances. We were creating a lot of chances, but we weren't finishing them. So if we had a striker in Kai Havertz, why do we need to go get a striker? And I remember people were arguing to have Kai Havertz as a striker. I didn't necessarily agree. I thought we needed a striker, which is why, I mean, you and me.
I think the jury was still out on Havertz after his first season because of injuries, and he was just in and out of the squad all the time. We didn't really.
He had COVID as well, right?
And then he ends with the UCL final performance, and he ends on a massive high. So it's like, you're not thinking he's crap or anything. Just thinking we might need another striker to play with him.
So I also went back and looked at some of his best games. Well, first of all, I wanted to show off the heat maps, right? We look at the heat map here that he had for Arsenal. So far in Arsenal, he's been playing on the left side, mostly kind of similar position to what he was playing at Leverkusen, but on the left side, where at Leverkusen, he was playing more on the right side. And you'll see it in a second. At Chelsea, almost everywhere, striker, false nine, whatever you want to call it. Again, not really focused, not really his best position. A little bit on the left, a little bit on the right, mostly in the striker position. Then we go to his first season at Chelsea when he was being played as a cam. The heat map is mostly on the right. He's played it a little bit as a 10. And I'm going to show you Bundesliga, where he was at his best, where that's where we all were hyped at. The heat map is all on the right. He was playing as a cam, sometimes as a right winger. Heat map all the way on the right, playing in that midfield position, going into the, like you were saying, those positions where he would find himself in good goal scoring positions and stuff. That's what he was known for, the runs in the box, finding the gaps. And he was doing good at it at Leverkusen. He also, you could argue, was doing good at it at Chelsea, but couldn't finish his chances because he's not a finisher. Same thing the season before when he had.
It's not a finisher.
He's just
not good.
Not a good finisher. All right, fair enough. I'll give you that. So, okay, some of his best games as Chelsea, and you guys can tell me yes or no. Yeah, one of his best games.
I thought everyone was crap in that game. That game was terrible.
I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy it.
We should have been better.
Terrible.
We should have been better. I don't disagree with you, but that was one of his best games.
Oh, but like,
listen, there's more examples. There's more examples.
Based on sofa score stats and everything. It's like, bro, I remember the game.
Sofa score stats. I'm not looking at the sofa score stats. I'm just looking at the heat maps because no other website gives me heat maps except for sofa score.
Oh, tell you what, then. Why don't we all chip in with some suggestions as to what his best games were, then, and just to help out here.
We could.
Borussia Dortmund at home, Champions League final, Carabao Cup final.
Probably Fulham.
I got you on two of those.
Real Madrid UCL semi-final.
I got you on both of those.
No. That brother missed 3 chances in a row. He ain't getting that.
But again, what I'm trying to show you,
Chelsea, Fulham.
You know what? You know why they talk about how Man City 4, Real Madrid 0 is the most dominant English performance against Madrid in history?
Yeah, it should have been us, to be fair. Yeah,
3 chances in a row at the bridge. That's why it should have been us.
This is what I mean, though. Okay, he's not a good finisher, which we know, but he played well. Why did he play well? Because he was playing his position, an attacking midfielding position. So Palmeiras. Okay, you guys don't want to count Palmeiras? Fine. I think he had a good game there. Fine. Best game we've had as a Chelsea under Tuchel as Chelsea. The best Chelsea I've seen.
What? He missed 2 big chances and lost the ball all the time in this match. What? He was one of our worst players.
But again, look at his heat map. Wait, you could say he was one of our worst players, but we played really well that game.
Not because of him.
All right.
We would have gone through if he did his job.
Maybe. Probably, you're probably right.
Oh my God! How is this game being put up?
I'm not trying to say that he could have won us. These are the games that he won us, that he scored a goal or assist. I'm trying to say these are the best performances he's had at Chelsea, or some of the best ones. Again, being played as a cam, where he's hugging on the right, linking up with Reece or whoever. I think it was not even Reece. I think it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
He was crap.
All right. Then apparently he was crap. I thought every player played well, but that's subjective.
Not him.
Okay. This was the game we lost Man City. I thought he had a good game here. I always point this out. Again, all over the map, being more as a number 10, not as a striker. We want to go to the Man City the Champions League final. This is the prime example of him playing as a cam. Timo Werner was more of the striker. Again, in his best position, hugging the right, playing as an attacking mid. I think I have another game here as well.
Whoa. I'm sorry, bro. Well, let's rewind the tape, please. Rewind. In the Champions League final, he's playing as a 3, bro. He wasn't playing as a cam.
He was playing as a cam. Look at his heat map. He's not a false 9. He's not a center forward.
He's not. That's not a cam.
You also no wait. You also have to.
You're gonna say he's right wing.
You also have to take into account we're more defensive minded in that game, so the
Yes.
heat map's going to be further back as a result.
Yes.
Sure. Okay, fine. If you want to say it that way, let's look at Mason Mount again. Like we weren't. He's not playing left wing or right wing. These are attacking mids and a striker.
An attacking mid should have the majority of his heat map literally stretching the whole side of the whole pitch.
Not
Literally.
necessarily.
It's one side.
Attacking mid can drift to the left or the right.
Yes, but he's not even.
He was playing with
look
two
at that, but look
attacking
at-
mids.
but look-
Mason
but
Mount
look
was a
at
left
him.
attacking mid, and Kai was a right attacking mid. Timo Werner was the center forward, a striker.
He was literally playing on the right then. He wasn't being a cam at that point in time. He was playing
He
on the
wasn't right wing though. What was he? Right
He
attacking
was
mid.
right mid. He was right mid. He wasn't right.
He was not right mid. Are you kidding me, bro?
Because he was coming back, bro.
Even
was
if
not right,
necessarily you were correct, which I really don't think you are on this, how does it mean we failed him? Like,
I'm just showing you the best performances he's had, and you guys
I've
wanted
never
to talk
seen a
about.
bigger
Hold on.
failure to the Chelsea shirt than Kai Havertz.
Sure, that's your opinion. I'm just trying to tell you that his best performances were when we played him in the cam position, and the heat maps show it. This is where he was. Again, Borussia Dortmund, where was he in the heat map? On the right side as a cam. You think a striker or focal point, you think the heat map is right here in the penalty box, not with Kai Havertz when his best performances were in these positions.
Why did we play him off strikers after the Champions League final and he was a bag of shit?
What strikers did we play him off? Romelu Lukaku?
Lukaku.
That's
He was
it.
still
And then what
scoring
happened
in
with
that run
Romelu?
in spite of him.
He barely played with Romelu Lukaku.
At
He
the
played
start
like
of the season,
three-
he did, and he played behind Lukaku.
Before Lukaku got injured, they were, yeah.
Yeah, he played like what, a handful of games?
And he was shitting them. And this is straight
One
off the
second.
UCL
One
final.
second,
He
guys.
should be on
Wasn't he
max
not playing on the
schedule.
wing? When he was not playing on the wing again, when Lukaku was not playing, I swear he was. He was literally
I
playing
don't
the
recall.
Yes. he
No,
was
no. When
playing
Lukaku wasn't playing, Havertz was the striker.
No, wait. But when Lukaku though was playing,
When Lukaku was playing, it was like that right inside whatever thing, you know.
he was literally playing as a right wing. Literally, is
Yeah.
a right wing inside forward. That's what he was playing.
3 years
like, bro,
and none of
bro, like-
your traits up front improve in any aspect. That's on you.
But
You
that's
won
what
the
I'm
UCL,
saying. Like,
you scored the winning goal, you've been coasting off it ever since. Failure.
I think we
That's it.
failed him.
We haven't
I'm trying to
failed
tell
him.
you.
He
I am
failed
trying to
us.
tell you. If you let me just go back to the argument about Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku, fine. He played a few games under Romelu Lukaku, but how often did we switch the lineup on him? How often did he get a chance to play as a 10 with Romelu Lukaku in front of him? Not very many games. So if he's not playing very many games, how do you expect there to be a relationship to build? How do you expect anything to happen when he's not playing many games as attacking mid? You want to just take a handful of
Yes,
games?
Marshall,
That's
like,
the
waiting
proof
out.
in the pudding.
No, but there was also a handful of
Marshall,
games with
going out,
Aubameyang
bro.
where he looked
Yeah,
just
you're
as
quite-
shit too.
I got you.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a
Yeah,
little
but
bit.
like
Sorry, Lee.
Marshall, we
Lewis,
just
say that
discussed this point though.
There's
No,
been
but
other
I-
games next to Aubameyang
It's
where
not
he's looked like
excuses.
shit
I'm trying to
too.
tell facts. I'm trying to tell you stats and
But Marshall,
rationality.
we discussed this point. But we discussed this point,
this
Marshall,
is
earlier in
rational,
the stream.
my friend.
We spoke about this point, Marshall, earlier in the stream about the chemistry. We can say that argument, but the problem is, at the end of the day, there has to be a base level performance, whether you know this guy chemistry or not, that we expect from a player. And he wasn't even providing that level, bro. That's in. Sorry, that's in this. That's.
How do you expect to
need
see
chemistry
that
for
with
that.
Romelu
How we
Lukaku?
don't think Kai
How do you
Havertz isn't one
to
of the
see
single
with a
worst
handful of
players
games?
who have ever put on this shirt in the modern era. I don't get how are we still making excuses?
You
for
have
him
to
not
ask
scoring?
Marshall, bro.
It's not even ours anymore.
Listen,
That's what I'm saying.
first of all, the reason this is even happening, Lewis, is because we did a video where we got X amount of likes, and I told the chat that if we got X amount of likes, we would do a debate on Kai Havertz, and we hit the likes. So I
So you're
promised to
pushing
debate.
the narrative you
I
don't
am a man of my
necessarily-
word.
He's
do you-
basically
do you
No,
losing,
I
man.
do. No, I do still think that Kai Havertz is being misused, even at Arsenal right now.
No.
And I don't expect him to cook.
Do you genuinely believe that Chelsea FC failed Kai Havertz?
Yes.
Oh,
On top of that, because you mentioned him being misprofiled at Arsenal, do you believe he's a part of Arsenal's best 11?
No.
All right, cool. Just asking,
Not with
just
the
to gauge
formation
my
that
level.
they're
what
playing and
Arsenal
not with the
fans are
players that
saying
they
now,
have.
they're saying they should be playing him up front.
But he's not a 9. We've been
He's not a
established this over
striker.
this.
No.
And
he
people
is a
keep
number 9.
doing it
He's a
over and over.
shit number 9.
He is not a number 9. When look, again, I can show you it again at Leverkusen.
Oh my
At
God.
Leverkusen, that's not his position.
Again,
But like, wait, hold on. I keep saying Leverkusen because why did people buy him? Why was he so hyped up at Leverkusen?
Why did we buy him? Do you want to know why we bought him? It was a board signing. Lampard didn't even want his ass.
I
He's
agree.
got Marina throwing fucking.
I agree. But then
cancer
again,
on our club.
Lewis, but you would agree because it's a board
Shout out
signing.
Marina,
We
real
weren't building a team like we're building now with players that can complement each other. So how the fuck do you expect Havertz, Ziyech, Timo to work out? They all failed because of we were just buying hype signings.
I ain't gonna
If
laugh.
Havertz failed in his position, he wouldn't be able to understand it.
But he never played his position. I keep showing you guys.
I think they all
He
failed because they're all not
front
good
and he
enough.
understood the
Yeah,
position and he
exactly.
failed to
Thank you,
apply
bro.
himself
That's
in
the
that
point.
position.
Yeah, they're all just
Bro,
not good enough to play.
Yes, Marshall. The reality situation
maybe.
is,
He's
yeah, you and I
genuinely
spoke
everywhere
about.
else other than up front.
Listen, Marshall. Yeah, you and I we've said this before. I've told you this before. Yeah, Ziyech, yeah, at this club, yeah, was the shit. There's no doubt about it, bro. You can maybe make the excuse he wasn't given enough game time, but he was shit, bro. When he came on, he was getting cooked, bro. Getting bullied. Timo Werner was just a speed demon that was trying to do the 100-meter race, yeah, on the pitch, bro. That's all he was doing, man. Let's be honest. Okay, Havertz was a guy that was brought in to be the versatile attacker that can play the 10, that can play the right wing, can play the left wing, can play the strike role in the false line role, as I said to you before, in that strike role, but he was not able to do so, bro. That's it.
But that's
It's
again,
as simple as that, bro.
like
but that's
we
the
are.
problem,
We,
bro.
but
He's not
this
been
is
able
the
to
thing.
do it.
Everyone keeps rewriting history. And exactly, you guys did it with the Champions League. He was an attacking mid, but then you want to say he was right
was
mid.
not an
Like
attacking mid.
when the fuck did we play right mid in that season? When we had left wing backs and a right wing backs, weren't they supposed to be right mid and a left mid?
1 minute to miss, Rob. 1 minute to start. That's because you got wing back another way, but doesn't mean you cannot play right wing or left wing. Okay, if you know formations, do your research, my friend. You can play right. You can literally play that. You can literally play as an inside forward, which is
You can drift out, even though if you're playing wing backs, you can drift out to that area, even if you're not starting position.
I'm not saying. But then again, you can play with 2 attacking mids and drift to the right and still be an attacking mid. It doesn't make you a right winger.
But he wasn't attacking. But in that game, he was not an attacking mid. He was playing as an inside forward.
All right,
That's the point I'm trying to make.
hold on. Okay, you know what? Fine. You want to say his play? Okay, Flawless, help me out here. This is Champions League. What does his heat map tell you? What is his position? Champions League final. Kai Havertz scored.
Yeah, that looks mostly like attacking midfield, but like drifting towards the right, central and right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, that looks like someone that's playing as the right midfielder. That's a right.
For you, because you have a bias, all right, and you want to be right about it. That's why we had a moderator.
Nah, it's a free role. Like you can't start central, and technically you can be, but if you say him starting as a striker or an attacking midfielder here, you drift right. You can.
We look at Mason Mount on the other side. Same thing.
The funniest thing is Kai Havertz himself has said in numerous interviews that he's a striker who can play up.
Yeah, but a player's always gonna back himself. Why? I mean, will you expect him to be like?
So you're saying he's lying to himself?
I'm not a striker.
So
he's gonna back himself.
Marshall is saying
if he feels like he's being sabotaged as well, he would say something.
Hell no. You guys would put him through the ringer if he came out and said, "I'm not a striker's not my very best position."
No, I actually wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, you know what? Fair play.
Fair play.
I'd be like, cool. Why are we playing him up front? The guy's literally come out and said, "I do not like this position."
Bro, when Lukaku was making those statements about
I'd respect that.
him and Tuchel,
but when you come out and say, "I know how to play this position," the guy came when he joined Arsenal. He said, "I had 3 successful years at Chelsea." Huh?
That's what you're saying, Marshall. I don't think we found him. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I ain't gonna lie. That is wild. If he said
That is why.
that's crazy.
That's
Bro,
crazy.
bro, Flawless, bro, you're moderating here, yeah? He is saying that if Kai Havertz is saying that he's a striker and Marshall saying that he's backing himself with that, so he's basically saying that Kai Havertz is lying to himself. Am I lying? Marshall is basically saying Kai Havertz is lying to himself about the fact that he can play striker.
But why are we making it seem like he's the only player that's done that? All players do that. What player? What? Okay. Can anyone in this panel or in the chat or anywhere, because I'm not going to put this just on you, Ahmed, can anyone tell me a player that came out and said, I don't play this position, I prefer this side or whatever?
I think for you lot, I think Nicholas Anelka did that.
Yes,
He doesn't want to play right wing or left wing. He was signed as a centre forward and he wants to play striker. Because at times, obviously the Chelsea lot, you lot will know better than me. Because Drogba was there and Drogba was playing central and he was being played sometimes right, sometimes left. And he came out and said, I want to play as a striker, which he is a striker.
Maluda at that time was getting I can't lie to you, remember? Because Maluda was with the kids at that time. That's why he said that, if you remember. So listen, that's him. Another good example was I'm missing the guy's name. There was someone else like Lukaku, for example. Lukaku, yeah. Well, listen, he had a bad situation, but he came out and said, listen, I spoke to the manager. He's not playing me the way I want to be played as a striker. And that is someone that's having a direct conversation with the manager.
But at the same time, this is what I mean. Like, he contradicted himself because in the preseason, we all remember he said he was multifaceted. He can play however.
But the point I'm trying to make though is at least
you can't have it both ways, Ahmed.
No. But he came out though. But he did come out. What do you want to say? He's contradicting himself. But he did come out and say that I'm not being played in that sort of picture I want it to be. We can go back into the tape and say you're chatting shit, big man. But he still came out and made his position clear.
And you respect
Marshall,
him more
bro,
for that?
like, is there anything else we need to talk about Havertz, bro?
This is a very, very, very tired agenda.
Oh yeah, Frankie Surfer, man. Look at Surfer, bro. Even Pulisic spoke about right wing back. I forgot about Pulisic. Frankie Danish, Maldini, like Essien played the whole.
I'd want to look this up because I don't know if Essien played an entire season.
You don't remember Frank Lampard doing DM shifts?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, no, but like I already shut down this argument before, where you can't expect a player to play out of position the whole entire season and play it well. Like, in this day and age, like, yes, Camavinga can play a few games. Wait, hold on, Ahmed. Camavinga can play a few games decently at left back position. But then there's games where he's got cooked as well.
I expect you to adapt.
But he's not out of position.
No, wait. I expect to adapt and improve within long term playing in that position. He was there
some players
for
just aren't.
seasons, the best part of 2 seasons playing.
Bro, Lewis, I've been making all these points already, bro.
The guy never learned how to finish a chance one-on-one. The guy never learned how to finish full stop. The guy didn't learn how to track the offside line. The guy didn't learn how to hold the ball up consistently. His link-up play is pants. His play in tight spaces is pants. And we want to talk about
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that because you look at his passing. Look at his passing stats
at Chelsea. I'm gonna lie.
I see what you're trying to do. You know what? I'm too clued up.
You know what? I'm a mediator. Sorry, that was unnecessary. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize. I'm sorry, man. I should do better. I need to do better. I'm sorry, man. I need to do better. I need to do better.
Can I say quickly? Yeah,
Lewis, hold on. Let me.
Out of position. No, we made the right back position his own.
But Lewis, bro, I've made all these points already, bro. There's no point of like Vincent repeating them. I've said all these points. I destroyed him with facts and logic. Yeah, as they say, men lie, women lie, but facts and logic. You know what I mean? That's a pen and paper, man. That's the difference.
What did you just say? What?
You think you just made that up, dog? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Huh?
Listen, hey, man.
What did this guy just say? What? Men lie, women lie, pen, paper, rock, paper, scissors. What did you just say? What?
Men lie.
This man's playing games.
Men lie, women lie, but there isn't a bigger lie in the world than Kai Havertz.
This man.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
Jesus Christ. Listen, but you really feel.
Yo, but the point I'm just trying to make.
The biggest lie in football, man.
But the point I'm trying to make, Marshall, is we have debated Kai Havertz so heavily. I've given you all the
brother is money
I've told you. Listen, Marshall, I don't know how else to tell you, bro. He played 57% of his whole Chelsea career in the EPL as a centre forward, bro. He played
not his position. You
Yes,
want to see
his
something
position,
fun?
bro. He was.
That's not his position.
Thomas Tuchel told him he's gonna play in the
Thomas Tuchel was wrong.
He said he was willing to do something.
Thomas Tuchel was wrong.
Him to evolve.
Thomas Tuchel was wrong.
This is crazy.
And again,
you know what,
how
man?
often?
No, you know what? You're wrong. You're wrong.
Maybe,
You're wrong,
maybe, but this is why we're having a debate, because I think I put up some strong points. Regardless, I want to show you something as well.
Impartial blue.
I want to show you something as well. Maybe this is a coincidence. Maybe I'm being shameless. Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
No, wait,
last
go
season-
back. Let's go through the games so I can actually go through his actual performance. Let's go through the games again.
Against
Everton, bag
Oh.
of shit. What was the next one? What was the next
Leicester.
one?
Lewis, you're gonna say there's shit for all of them.
No.
Come
I'm
on,
going to
let's
be
real.
objective. He had some good games, but let's go through them.
Against
Okay.
West Ham off the
Everton,
bench,
yeah.
he was good.
Yeah, he was good off
Oh,
the
he
bench.
did come off the bench. Yes.
Leicester, it was all right. He was all right. Nothing special, but he was all right.
Crystal
What's the
Palace.
next one? Crystal Palace, shit. No, he was shit.
Yeah.
Villa,
Aston
he
Villa?
was shit. He was crap.
Aston Villa,
Yeah, he was crap.
Come on,
Brentford.
He was abysmal against Brentford.
bro.
Nearly
That
cost
was
us the game,
the Amazon Prime game as well. That was the Amazon Prime game, by the way.
Yeah, he was
So, like,
abysmal. Let's keep going.
Mhm.
What's next?
And then the last game he played as an attacking mid was
Arsenal, when that dickhead cost us because he ignored the Aubameyang twice in the first 15, we should have won 2-0.
Mhm.
Nah. Anything
I remember
next?
that.
There was 7 games he played as an attacking mid. We drew
So we've
one.
given him like one good
We
game
drew
and
one. We
all right
lost
game.
one and won 5 when he was playing as an attacking mid.
He was shitting nearly all of them.
We just went through game after game, and he wasn't shit nearly all of them. He was good at least half of them, according to you.
No, I said he was good in
Or
like
decent, at
one of
least half
them
of
and
them.
okay in the next. And the rest were all
being
just
a
crap.
6 is not okay,
You
bro.
said one good and then he said a few decent, and the majority were terrible. That's what Lewis just said. That's all I'm saying. That's all he said.
For your moderator.
Listen, Marshall, bro.
'Cause I
You
don't
know,
remember
I
this.
Only
understand
good
that.
games were like West Ham off the bench and he played 10 minutes, 18. And Leicester when he was like, he weren't crap, but he weren't great either.
He
I
was
just
okay.
don't remember him doing anything.
Yeah, that Leicester game was a sterling carry job, to be honest.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was sterling courage of that game.
That was
maybe.
it, really. That game was
Maybe.
shit.
Listen,
We can look at the
Marshall,
individual
I'll tell you-
stats of the game. We had more time. We can look it up and describe.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not
Everton,
going to
he
sit here.
was hideous.
My point. My point is showing you this. My
Arsenal,
point is showing you
hideous.
this. My point is showing you this isn't necessarily to tell you Kai Havertz had a really good game, but when we played him in his position, we got results.
And those last 4, he was playing next to Aubameyang.
Mm.
Off the striker, and he still wasn't creating anything.
As a
But
center
Aubameyang-
forward.
That Arsenal game, I remember
one second,
everyone
one second.
coming
Whoa,
out of that
whoa, whoa.
Arsenal game was saying, "Oh, Aubameyang had 9 touches in the whole game. He don't do anything. He's washed.
Can I-
He should have scored twice in the first 15." But that creative outlet, Kai Havertz, with his tunnel vision, couldn't even find him in clear positions.
Marshall, can I just say something to you? Yeah, I remember some of these games. Are you expecting Chelsea to lose to Everton?
No,
Are you expecting Chelsea to lose to Leicester City?
no,
West Ham? Do you expect Chelsea Football Club to lose to West Ham?
no.
Who's the next one? Crystal Palace, of course, no.
I expect us to win all these
Aston-
games.
Okay, then. So why are we saying, "Oh, just because we've won them, that means he's done something"? Bro, it's expected. This is Chelsea Football Club, bro. We shouldn't be saying, "Oh, just because we've won those games means that that must correlate to him being doing well as I am." It shouldn't be expected.
Look at the rest of the season when he's playing as a center forward.
Bro, it's not just, you cannot tell me because he's not playing attacking mid, the whole team, it led to the whole team.
You can't.
It led to losses.
Okay,
It can't
we
be
can't have.
just
We
on one
can't
player.
have.
Don't do that,
We
man.
can't.
You can't.
Okay, so if you want to say it can't be just a one player, then you can't say that. And then I have Lewis below me saying that the reason we failed last season was mostly because of Kai Havertz. You can't have both arguments at once.
Going
Mostly,
forward.
not 100%. I hold him very
And a big
responsible.
part of it,
No,
you
the
can
reason
say.
but the
big
reason why
part-
you have to hold him as a big part of it is simply because if Chelsea was successful and he played the games he did and performed well, he would receive a lot of the praise, and rightfully so. So therefore, on the flip side, you can't have it both ways. If a player plays a lot of games, the team performs well, he individually performs well, you won't get the vast majority of the praise. Therefore, if the team underperforms and you play a vast majority of the games and your performances are also not good enough, you're going to receive a lot of the criticism. Where you proportion blame, that's a whole different conversation, but you are going to take blame. That's what it is with Kai Havertz.
But my argument
you
with
lot
this,
have underperformed and he's played a hell of a lot, like most minutes you said. So he's going to, because he's always there.
But even me and you,
my point is showing you this. My point is showing you this. There's a correlation between Kai Havertz playing as an attacking mid and our performances as a team versus when we switched him over to center forward and he started doing shit. Or
no,
not
the
he,
correlation.
but the team.
No. I'm a dead this. You know what the correlation is? Thomas Tuchel and Graham Potter. That's the correlation.
That's a big reason. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Marshall,
that's another factor. Yeah.
Marshall, I know you're a smart guy. Yeah. One of the things they tell you in maths, correlation does not mean causation, bro. All right, cool. So there's always something else that's also going on that may mean something's occurring, and you knew that too in that season, bro. What was happening that season? We switched managers after a terrible Dynamo Zagreb performance. We had Potter who was trying to save his job because he started playing shit. We then had Bruno. Then we had Super Frank back. Yeah, so the club was unsold. We brought a bunch of players. Like that season was a shit show to say the least. We finished 12th in that season.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Me and you had a preset though when we were talking about this debate early on before Lewis, where we and you agreed already. We're not going to take into account this season because as I said to you, and as you said to me, there was a lot of extenuating circumstances that occurred this season, which would be unfair for me to be judging him upon. That's what I said to you previously.
But it is. This is the thing.
But that's why I was judging on the last 2 seasons, bro.
You're making it seem like it's black and white. And it could be very much a lot of gray. Part of the reason that we failed last season could be a lot of it because we played him out of position because he wasn't playing as an attacking mid. How often did we say that when we had Mason Mount playing as an attacking mid for about half of the season, up until I want to say January, where he was bottlenecking us?
You know what's hilarious? When we took Lukaku out of that position and we put Kai Havertz in there, everyone was like, "Oh, we play a lot better. We were a lot more fluid. We make more chances." So I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Bro,
I mean, I'm sure we can make more chances because he had good link-up play, but he's not going to finish his chances.
Play and he's good movement because he understands how to play as a striker.
I think
because he's playing the false 9 role, Marshall.
I think he understands how to play as an attacker. He can't finish. And again, I understand the argument. Like, yes, you expect players to improve and become better at finishing over time. I disagree with that. The stats show differently, but again,
I don't follow everything off stats. Stats can make any narrative you want to. The amount of times I've said like, "Oh, Gallagher wasn't good," and they'll get someone saying, "Oh, Conor Gallagher got 9,362." Blah blah blah. I don't care, bro. I watched them lose the ball 15 times in a half. I don't want to listen to your stats. I know what I saw. There's stats and then there's eye test. This is why stats. They're not the bread and butter of football. I
get it. I agree. And that's why, like, there's a combination of, for me in this debate, there's a combination of eye test and stats. Because yes, stats don't tell all, but also eye test doesn't tell you all.
There's not some of the games I saw you bring up for your argument.
I was bringing up the heat map and where he was playing his best position.
Everybody was crap. You brought up Real Madrid away where he was our worst player.
I don't think he was our worst player.
Can I ask you a question, Marshall? Can I ask you a question, bro? Should we really be judging Kai Havertz on club?
You see, exactly.
My
point.
Performances?
My fucking point.
Say that again, Ahmed.
Club World. Are we really judging Kai Havertz performances here on Club World Cup performances? This is something that we should be expected to win no matter what, bro. Palmeiras, bro, in Premier League terms, yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to show games or trying to win or performances. I'm just trying to show you position.
You're juicing out, bro.
One outside.
Wait, hold on. First of all,
go on, Marshall.
You could say I'm juicing it up all you fucking want. Even in that Tuchel season.
Wait. Pause. Strong pause. We've had some moments on the street, people, but go on.
Yes. Even in that season, we were losing games that we were supposed to win. You all can sit here and tell me we were supposed to beat West Brom. What happened against West Brom when Tuchel took over? We lost. We drew 3-3. We're supposed to beat West Brom. They got relegated that season. It's football.
Was that another game?
Yeah, fucking Mateus Pereira. We gave him a career that day.
Yeah.
Fucking
It
A.
was Frank Lampard, mate. Okay, get that right first.
That was not Frank Lampard. That was Thomas Tuchel.
3-3 was Frank Lampard.
Yes, it was. 3-3 was Frank
Second-
Lampard.
5-2 was Thomas Tuchel.
5-2 was Thomas Tuchel.
That's
yeah,
even
when
worse.
Mendy was getting lobbed.
Yeah, I remember.
5-2.
You remember to watch it?
1500, you dickhead gooners.
Thank you.
I still got that on my Instagram.
5-2 was under Thomas Tuchel, but we're supposed to win that, aren't we? So at the end of the day, also, you got to look at these games and look at individual performance. Just because it's Palmeiras doesn't mean a player can't have a good individual performance. I thought Kai Havertz had a good individual performance. I thought he was probably our man of the match that game. You could say that's biased or whatever, but there's also the eye test, like I was saying, where you can look at it as an eye test, but have a bias, like when everyone looks at Conor Gallagher now and wants to say he's shit when he's actually been decent.
It was so pathetic that game. Like it would
You know
have
what,
to be
Marshall needs to get
Sure,
exercise,
but
man.
at the same time, like when people
I
look at
think
Kai
Thiago's
Havertz, they
still
want to
the one
point
man
out the shit. Maybe.
What?
Maybe.
Thiago
No, but
still
I'm
won man
saying-
of the match.
Wait, what was that last point?
What I was just trying to say is when in the last few games of the season, last season, the season before, a lot of people were looking at Kai Havertz and they only wanted to point out the shit performance and the mistakes that he made with the eye test. So I'm saying, like, sometimes the eye test is failed because you have a bias with
But
your
there
eye
was
test.
also stats, most offsides in the league, most big chances in the league, most minutes played.
And why do you think
Most
again?
offsides.
Like again, why? Yeah, he got offsides. Why do you
That's
think he got the most
what?
offsides? Because he likes to run into the box. He
Because
likes
he
to.
can't track the line.
Yeah, you can't. That's
He's
on
not
you.
intelligent enough. Not
If you
intelligent
get the
enough.
most offsides, that's on you.
I get that.
Yeah.
Again, at Leverkusen, who is leading that line is usually the striker. So you can make those runs into the box and not be offside because usually the striker's in front of you.
Brother, why are we acting like he was one Ballon d'Or winner at Leverkusen? He
Yeah,
had the
but
same
are we
whole-
really saying?
What? This is why we bought him.
No,
We bought him
let's
because of
not-
the hype
let's-
at
no,
Leverkusen.
No, let's not do this because the whole time in
no.
Leverkusen, he still had this whole disappear in the first half of the season and only turn up in March flex that he still does now.
I mean,
like,
yeah, I'll
what
give
were
you that. That's
doing?
true.
So why
That's
are you
true.
flexing Leverkusen like it means anything?
Because that
What
was.
did he even win anything at Leverkusen? Maybe one
No.
Pokal Cup or something.
But why did we buy him then?
Why did
Was it
we
not
buy
because
him?
of-
I'd love to know that.
What is it? Listen, I actually agree with you. Why did we buy him?
Yes,
Because he
that's
didn't
on
If
fit
the
your
ball.
whole
Chelsea.
argument is why did we buy him, then we're already acknowledging it was a dumb move
Yes.
in the first place.
It was a terrible match. It
In
was a
hindsight,
terrible match.
in hindsight, it was a terrible move because we didn't make a team that benefited him, that suited him.
Why
We
did
didn't have
fucking
players that
buy him?
suited him.
Oh, I'm sorry we didn't help Sir Kai Havertz. I'm so
Are
sorry.
you-
we
can
weren't
I ask you a
able
question,
to be
Marshall?
as hospitable to you and
I
help
ask
you in your progress.
But this is
to
why I'm
winning the
saying,
Ballon d'Or.
Chelsea-
One second, Marshall.
Kai
Do you
Havertz.
believe, Marshall? Do you believe, yeah, that Kai Havertz, yeah, is that level of player that we should really have built a team around him? That's what I'm gonna ask you. That's a question for me.
At his age, no. I don't think so. I don't think we should have built a team around him.
So everything you've been saying is mute, then, isn't it? So if we don't
But then-
believe we should build a
but-
team around
but
him,
okay,
then
so
why
if
is
we're
it
not-
that we should have built a team around him then?
Let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. If we're not building a team around Kai Havertz and he's a certain type of profile and he needs a certain type of team to perform, why the fuck did Chelsea buy him? And if did Chelsea and okay,
You know why Chelsea
let me
bought him.
rephrase.
Why?
Wait, hold on.
The
Let me
reason
rephrase that
why-
question.
I can tell
Let
you
me
why
rephrase
he
that
bought
question.
them.
Let me rephrase that question. So if he's we need a certain type of player, if he's a certain type of player that needs certain type of players around him to succeed, and that didn't happen at Chelsea, then why is it Kai Havertz's fault?
Because he failed to adapt and he failed
yes.
to improve.
Listen. At the end of the day, you can
as
say,
simple as
okay.
that.
Again, you're not playing him in the strongest position, which is Cam.
No.
That-
You know,
that's
listen.
your
At the end of the day, though,
opinion
at the end of
of
the day,
it.
he
There
came
was
into the
numerous
position.
managers.
He signed a
No,
contract.
because
Wait, one at a time. Go on, Lewis. Go on.
It
Go
weren't
on.
just Thomas Tuchel. It was literally every manager internationally and for Chelsea who wanted to play him up top.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because
said that already.
he was misprofiled. He was turned into a striker
Arsenal fans
because
have had him for 3 months and they want him up front.
he was misprofiled at Chelsea. He was turned into a striker because we didn't have any other striker positions. Eventually, he was just seen as a striker, which is why now at Germany, when Timo Werner wasn't kicking off, he became the striker because he didn't have other options as well. And the same thing is happening at fucking Arsenal.
No, it's because everybody rates work rate, and he's got work rate and the good movements off the ball.
Who gives a shit about work rate when you're a striker? Work rate is a stat that you should probably give a fuck when you're a midfielder.
Some people do care about that. Some people do say that's why Gallagher gets his defense. He works hard.
But again, Gallagher's playing in the midfield position.
Yeah, he is in midfield. It should be more than that, though. It should be more than that. I've heard Arsenal fans use that for Nketiah, but we move. Whole different conversation.
But again, if you're take Kai Havertz's name, blindfold test. If you're given a player, if you're trying to build a team, and someone tells you, okay, this player has work rate, where are you going to put him in a position? Are you going to put him in striker?
No, I'm gonna put no. What talent does he have? Work rate to me is base. I don't look for that. I don't ask, does a player work hard? What do you excel at? With the ball at your feet. That's what I ask first and foremost. What do you do well? Because I hear this work rate thing. You can go get players from five. Go get marathon runners then if that's the case.
The thing is, we mentioned we mentioned just quickly we mentioned Firmino earlier. He had both.
Yes, my prime example. His work rate off the ball is, but we don't talk about it, even though it was good because on the ball he excelled at so much. As we discussed with him earlier, he was key to what Mane and Salah did, and they'll tell you that as a front three, he complemented them well. Of course, Mane and Salah were two of the best wingers we've seen, but Firmino helped so much. If you put Havertz in that, they don't put up them numbers. They don't have them seasons they have because Firmino is a much better version of Havertz. Because he offers so much more. Like with Havertz, if you consistently get misprofiled, let's say what you're saying for argument's sake is right, Marshall, and he's being misprofiled, that's a him problem then. Why is everybody misprofiling you? Because it's not one or two managers. All managers seem to play you as a striker. Because you know what? He's just not that good. That's just what it is. He's just you would say at Arsenal, you don't get in their first 11. And we all know that they have holes in their team.
And listen, this whole time I'm not trying to say that Havertz has been good for Chelsea or that he's been good for Arsenal. I agree. He hasn't been good. But I think he's just not a striker. He hasn't been good because he's not a striker. And I was laughing a little bit before because I feel like when the Glazers were at the negotiation table, we did the same exact question that I asked you. We did the same thing, and they just picked Mason Mount out of a hat, and that's how you got stuck with Mason Mount, which is work rate. But, okay. And this is the final defense I'm going to put up for Havertz because I feel like I've extinguished all my lines here, and we're going to have to just agree to disagree on a few of these points. But another thing about Kai Havertz and the reason I think he's failing.
I've got that out there, so.
This man, you're running away. You're running away from the debate.
What do you mean? I was cooking you for 1 hour and a half.
You were not cooking, my guy. Because every time I asked you a question, you kept reiterating back.
Listen, I literally was cooking you. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this, man. You can literally.
Is this real? Are you real? Did I summon?
No, that's not real. It's not
okay.
Look at I have I think it's either 90 or 88% of people, more than 30 votes believe
you kept
over the
okay.
You can hold
you
that
kept
you
kept going back.
Yourself. You can keep on crying, you can keep on laughing, you can keep
I'm gonna go to the next stat.
At the end of the day,
go on, get to the last point because we are obviously you lot ain't gonna agree, so you are gonna have to agree to disagree on this. Marshall, go on, get to your last point. Hey, everyone, before Marshall does that, make sure you bump up the likes because this has been a great debate. Bump up the likes right here on Casually FC. Share this across the socials. No matter if you're watching this back or you're watching this live right now or watching this back after the live, hit the like button, share across the socials, follow at Casually FC across all socials, subscribe to the channel as well, Casually FC. Make sure you subscribe to the Bridge 258. Also, make sure you subscribe to Carefree Lewis G as well, people. Yeah, go on, Marshall.
Yes. Also, guys, I will say, if you want to see more content like this, if we get up to 100 likes in this video, we'll continue this series with more topics, not with Kai Havertz. All right, we're done. This is the last time I'm going to bring up Kai Havertz and even argue about this guy. He's not even my player, all right? He's a fucking Arsenal guy. But I'm doing this as a promise and a commitment to you guys. But, okay. Yeah, mate. Listen. And I want people in the chat to notice something, okay? Because every time I would counter Ahmed, he would go back to the same exact points that I just countered and reiterate and hammer home and railroad me on the same center forward, false nine. I'm talking about him playing as a team.
Yo, the audio, man.
Your mic's breaking up a little bit, Marshall.
Even his audio doesn't believe in him. Even his audio doesn't believe in him.
Hey, anyways,
Oh god.
He kept railroading on the same exact argument about, oh, but he played false nine center forward. It's not the same as a number 10. So now the other thing about him playing as a number 10 at Leverkusen versus how he played here at Chelsea is the defensive stats. Aerial duels, defensive impact, defending. You don't really need to look at the exact numbers, just look at the visual, right? It's not that defensive. Most of the time, link up play really good, ball retention, all that. You can look at this all you want. Now, we go over to Chelsea. Chelsea 2021. Look at how high these defensive stats are. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to show is this. At Chelsea, shots per 90, key passes. Okay, Leverkusen, shots 2 per 90, 2.6 per 90. All right, next stat. Havertz increased defensive workload. This is almost, I would say, a 50% increase at Chelsea versus at Leverkusen. So you're putting more defensive responsibility on him, rather than just letting him focus on the attack. Be free. He has to do more pressing. Look at this is double the pressing that he has to do at Chelsea versus Leverkusen in that season where we won the Champions League. Double the amount of pressing that he had to do at Leverkusen. He couldn't be free. He couldn't be that free roaming attacking mid. He couldn't finish. He couldn't get into the runs in the box because he was in charge of pressing as well. So you're asking an attacking player to now take, which, look, a good player, fine. You can say that. Take on more responsibility. World-class player, a fully fleshed out player. This is an 18-year-old Kai Havertz. You're asking him to now press and add more defensive ability to his game when he's still adapting and trying to come into his prime. And you're trying to tell him to do this when what he was doing at Leverkusen successfully didn't require this.
All right.
So again,
are you done?
Go for it, man.
Okay. That is the Bundesliga. This is the Premier League. Different managers have different styles of play. That's pretty much. Let's put that in first.
What's going on here?
That's pretty much what it is, bro.
It's the world's smallest violin.
I want to go back.
He's got to press more. He's got to do some running.
Go to 2 circles, Marshall.
Man.
2 circles, Marshall.
Which the circles before? All right, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Go to Leverkusen one first, big man.
Oh shit! What did I just do? Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Leverkusen right here.
Yeah. So at Leverkusen, you know what I'm saying? Progressive passing and shot volume. You know what I'm saying? As a cam, those are, I would argue, to be the two most key things. You've got to have a high level of progressive passes because you're passing to the striker or to the winger, one would assume. And shot volume as a cam, again, it should be shooting quite a few more times than on average than what you need. So he's not even doing his cam duties. From what I'm saying,
are we ignoring link up play all of a sudden? Does that not count as a cam?
I'm sorry,
ball
mate.
retention ability, does that not count for the cam?
But I am looking at those 2 points specifically, which is progressive passing. As a cam, you're meant to assist, or you're. You're basically the second volume shooter after the striker, essentially, in my opinion. So what I'm saying is that as a cam, progressive passing in the sense that you're the guy that's progressing the ball into the striker or into the winger. In the season we're looking at, a high amount shot.
Progressive passing in that season we're looking at, he played 17 games as a cam. So a little more than half the season.
You're the one that's
2019,
2,523 minutes, my friend. Don't go anywhere, man. Don't go anywhere.
This is 2019, 2020.
Yes. So that's by Leverkusen, and you're criticizing.
That season before he came to Chelsea.
You're the one that's telling me though that he's a 10. Is that 10 behavior right there, mate? That's not 10 behavior.
Link up play is 10 behavior. Ball retention is 10 behavior.
No, it's not. Listen, but progressive passing is
XG from ball. XG from ball progression, run into the box.
Listen,
again,
progressive passing is XG behavior. That's what I'm expecting to be the highest. Let's not kid ourselves, bro. That's one of the things that I'm expecting to be high on the list.
But again,
I'm pretty
he's
sure.
not.
Listen, again, moderator, you can moderate here. If you are a cam, bro, are you not expecting the progressive passing to be one of the highest abilities for you, bro? It should be up there. It should be up there, bro.
Of course, you know what I'm saying. But I think we could all take away stats and watch him and go that he's not excelled when he's played, whether it's enough or not. Whether
But this
it's
is at
enough minute,
Leverkusen, bro.
he's
But
not.
this is at Leverkusen.
Yeah, but at Chelsea, I didn't watch him at Leverkusen, and he's much younger. But at Chelsea, even when he played as a 10, despite the players around you, you didn't do enough.
Ahmed, because you want to be shameless and again ignore facts, okay? 17 out of 30 games that season, the one that I just showed you, were played at attacking mid, okay? So he was asked to play right wing and center forward. He didn't have as good of a season then. When the season before, which is breakout season, 20 games out of 34. And guess what? Progressive passes as a cam, this is your scouting report. You want to tell me how much? What's the XG? What's the per 90 of progressive passes in the season where he played as a? Listen, I'm showing you. You sit here.
Yo, Ahmed, let him land. Go on, Marshall. Let him land.
Again,
go on.
you want to sit here and tell me this is the 18-19 season where everyone was saying, oh, this kid's going to be Ballon d'Or winner one day. This is the best season he had at Leverkusen. The season before the last season at Leverkusen, and you say, oh, progressive passes is so low. You want to tell me what the progressive passes per 90 is on this one, this good season where he played as a cam for the majority of his season?
1 second. 18.
No, answer it. What are what's the progressive passes? Is that good progressive passes for you?
Can I talk? Let me talk, man. Let me talk. Listen, you played, okay, he got 6.44 progressive passes per 90, 18-19. But the next season, when he's meant to be going a step up, in level, in a step up.
Oh, wait. Ahmed, how many games did he play as a cam the next season? How many games did he play as a cam the next season?
17 out of 30 is the same.
Out of 30, a little bit more than half.
More than he played more than half. And in this one, how many did he play? He said 20 out of 34, so, which is roughly the same. Bro. Let's not kill ourselves.
It's not roughly the same. It's a big difference because when you have
20 out of 34 and 17 out of 30 is literally as a percentage extremely the same. Literally,
see what this giraffe does to us.
Come on, bro. Don't do that, man.
I'm math, so I don't know if I'm telling the truth or not.
Yes, it is, bro. Let me tell you. You know what? Yeah, I'll do the math right now.
Ahmed, you know maths ain't my strong suit. You could have said any numbers.
No.
Yeah,
not for you, bro. Not for you, bro. Don't worry, bro.
You know my maths is bad. You know what I'm saying? You could have said anything. You could have said anything. I'd be like, yeah, fast. You know this. Come on, man.
But again, we're looking at the progressive passes when he played most of the games that he played that season was as a cam. It's good progressive passing. Now, the next season afterwards, he's not playing nearly as much as a cam.
One second, Marshall. 20 out of 34 is 58% of the games. 17 out of 30 is 0.56 of the games. All right, so let's not kid ourselves here. That is pretty much the same percentage of games, big man. All right,
let's not do that, bro. There is a difference.
It's the same. It's what are you talking about, Marshall?
Okay.
It's the same amount of games. It's literally 0.56 and 0.58. Yeah, the difference is 0.02, which is literally 1 or 2 games, bro. That's the difference we're talking about here. So listen, he could not do it as a step up, yeah, and he could not produce those progressive passes and those shot volume. At the end of the day, Marshall, you are wrong, bro. Okay, you have to
bro,
that, bro.
okay, hold on.
Hold it, bro.
Hold on. I'm not holding shit because look at him right now in the last year. What are the progressive passes stats here? In the last year, Ahmed, tell me what the progressive passes stat is. Is that not enough for a 10 either? Per 90? In the last year, where he was playing as a striker. What does it say? The last year.
Yes.
And you can look at the bottom. In the last year compared to other players in the same position.
Which one? Where is that?
Men's Big 5 leagues, UCL, UEL, over 365 days.
Okay. But you know what's crazy, bro? You know what's crazy? The guy who's compared to Danny Welbeck. Where is he playing? Striker. Cody Gakpo, CF or striker. Jonathan David, striker. Amin Guidi plays left wing or striker. I know this guy because I watched him week in, week out for Rennes. I don't know who Lucas Boli is. Gabbiadini, astaghfirullah, we're not going to be comparing someone to Al Nassr. Gabby Jesus, we know where he plays, big man. All right, Dzeko, we know how he plays.
You want me to switch this to attacking mids and wingers?
Thiago Aspas, You know what? Listen, but this is.
You want me to switch this to attacking mids and wingers?
Bro, this is his position, bro. Don't do that, bro.
Attacking mids
That's
and
his
wingers.
position, bro.
But again,
so versus attackers and wingers, he's even worse, bro. So he's worse. Attackers
again, because he's not playing as an attacking mid and winger.
La hawla, man, bro. Okay, listen, you know what?
Again, you put him. Look at this. Are you gonna seriously tell me this is the stats for a forward? Are you seriously gonna sit here and tell me this is the stats for a forward?
I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless.
Right, I'm speechless. I never thought I'd see the day.
Speechless, man. That's it.
Never thought I'd see the day.
We're just not being rational at this point.
We are being more than rational. You are not being rational, bro. You are.
I'm asking you, Ahmed. When I ask you, Ahmed, when I ask you, are these the stats of an attack? Are these the stats for a forward? What do you say? You have nothing to say. You're speechless. When you know very clearly the answer is that this is the stats for a fucking attacking mid or a midfielder. It's not forward stats. It's not strike. Then okay, show me a striker that has these kinds of stats that's successful.
Oh my god! Listen. Let's wrap it up, bro. You're not making sense to me. This is not.
What do you mean?
Because the problem.
How am I not making sense? Flawless. Am I not making sense here?
The problem is for me. This is not what I'm expecting from a striker.
You just don't want to acknowledge the facts that we're misplaying him.
Wait a second.
We were.
I said to you, we're not. This is not what I'm expecting from a false nine. It's not what I'm expecting from a number 10 either. Okay, a number 10 should not be giving me this level of defensive stuff. This is what you're probably expecting from a number 8. Which is why Shokara maybe why Arteta's playing him in that position in the CM role. Come on, bro.
You look so much better in that position.
Yes.
I do have to say
look,
that.
And even in that position, he's not even working at Arsenal. But this is what a guy that plays in the 8 position probably looks like.
Yeah, not the striker.
Yeah, an 8 position.
And I love to say, I love how quickly he's adapted to that role.
Listen, man, you know what, bro? You are glazing him.
Yeah, you might ain't gonna agree. I think you both understand each other's questions. You're not gonna agree.
Just scoring Porto.
Just get it. But yeah.
I wish Timo wanted to scoring Porto, bro.
Are we gonna call it now? You not going to want to?
It could have even just been a fucking Diaz own goal or something. I would have taken that.
I think we could call it here because honestly, like we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I made my points. He's made his points. He doesn't acknowledge some of my points. Won't answer my questions, and I probably don't answer some of his.
I answered you.
You did answer that last one. You did answer that last one.
Man, like you might just agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Great debate.
Nah, fuck you, Ahmed. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm with that. Yeah, Ahmed. Fuck you. But yeah, like
man, you got Mason on your team, bro. You can hold that, man, forever. You always
sure. And you're Captain Gallagher. You know what I'm saying? We can do this. You don't want this smoke.
Hey, yo.
You don't want this smoke.
I'm ready. I don't hide from Gallagher.
Look at this guy.
I don't hide.
I'm stuck with a Gallagher stan and a Havertz stan.
Hey, Lewis. There you go, man. Your time. But hey, great debate, man. Great debate, man. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you do that, people. Hit the like button here. Subscribe.
Yeah, let's see what the people said, bro.
Yeah, I'll read the poll. Like, obviously, listen. I didn't. Listen, I'm just gonna be transparent. I didn't expect to win over the majority of the chat. I didn't expect people to be on my side about it. In fact, I knew Lewis was gonna turn up at some point and fucking just pile drive me, which he basically did. So.
Yeah, you might have said some pause-worthy stuff on the stream.
We had a lot of pause over to this one. This is what Kai Havertz does.
I want to take a trip with Trent to Paris, off the Eiffel Tower. It's all crazy, man. You know
what
I'm saying? Your boy Ahmed Lewis talking about taking trips with Trent to Paris. You know what I'm saying? He said at home, man. Hey, Ahmed, if you like light-skinned dogs, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. We don't judge, man. It's okay. All
right, so I closed out the poll.
Let's try to get caught around his back post. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Come on, man. Do better.
Yo.
52 people voted. Ahmed 78% of the votes, and me with 21%. Which, to be honest, the fact that I even got 21% of those votes, which is almost a quarter of those, is shocking enough as it is. So I hope I did a decent enough job to show some people the light and be a little more rational on Kai Havertz. I mean, obviously he's not our player anymore. I could give less of a shit what he does at Arsenal. I still think he's being misplayed. Sure, but we'll see what happens with him in the long run. Who gives a crap, really? He's not a Chelsea player anymore. But at least with this debate,
I to crunch him on Saturday. I'm buying your shirt.
Caicedo probably, or Conor Gallagher. I hope you're okay with a
Oh,
Conor
Conor,
Gallagher
yeah,
kit.
let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, Conor Gallagher, if you're first, say less. Say less, man.
Oh my
Bro,
goodness.
the Bermuda Triangle is imploding in front of our eyes.
That'll be a face turn.
But hopefully with this discussion, maybe I hope I was rational and as unbiased as possible. And I try to be as factual and show the stats to prove my point as possible. And same thing goes for Ahmed. Obviously, Ahmed did have stats and all that stuff to back him. So hopefully that was a good debate for you guys. As usual, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're new here, smash up the like buttons. If we get 100 likes on this video, we'll do this again. That way we can gauge if you guys enjoyed this content or not. Again, we're doing this in lieu of the fact that we're going to be seeing Kai Havertz at Arsenal or at Chelsea versus Arsenal. So we'll see what happens with that. If he even starts, I don't think he will. But regardless, he's coming back to the bridge and we'll see how he performs. Check out the links in the description for everyone's content. Big up to Sarcasm City. He's in the description. Again, thank you so much for moderating. Thank you so much for Oliver Otten moderating too.
No problem.
Big up
No
to
problem.
Lewis, of course, for the cameo. You're always welcome here, brother. I appreciate you being here. And make sure you check out his channel as well. Always doing awesome and fire content over on that channel.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down below. What's up?
We are going live as well on Sarcasm City Sports. Sarcasm City TV. Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, people. So head over. Obviously, if you want to ask questions about this, that's fine. It's just open to the chat to ask whatever sporting questions they want to ask people. That's how the sports Q&A works. So we'll get over to Sarcasm City TV. But big up for having me, man. This was good. I enjoyed it.
Of course, man. And thank you for doing it. It was a little last minute because I've been so freaking busy with so much.
Good,
but I appreciate so much that you were able to do this, even with last minute notice. And yeah, of course, guys, check out the comments, leave a comment, let us know what you thought about everything, all the points that I made or any points that Ahmed made. If you want to clown me for my position, even though I was pretty rational about most of it, I would say, go for it. I mean, we're trying to spit facts here, you know?
Yeah,
so.
You lot in the chat need to clown for some of them pause worthy moments. That's what you lot need to do. As much as you can't talk about whoever you think Marshall was right or Ahmed was right, just clown Ahmed for that Trent comment, please. Somebody clip that and send it to me. Please.
Sure.
Please.
I mean, again, Danish Maldini, if we get 100 likes in this video, there might be a mount debate. Who knows? There might be
Money on
Mason Mount.
yeah, I don't know who I'd bring for the Mason Mount debate. I don't know who I can actually bring here that can rationally defend
So you'll
Mount.
find a United fan. Maybe the United fans out there who rate him.
Maybe, yeah, sure. But yeah, before we end the show, as usual, proper casually and tiered members, we'd like to give a shout out on the channel. So that's going to be
Marshall, try and get Matt Law on for Mason's Mount.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can get some Matt Law in
Nah,
here.
kidding,
Mason
man,
Mount.
Now, you know how he likes to glaze up Mason's Mount, right?
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A Solomon, Maru CFC, the Danzo, Chelsea Till I Die AP, and IE Wani. Big up to you guys who are proper casual tiered and hired members and help out the channel tremendously. And big up to the rest of you members as well that do help out the channel tremendously. I hope you guys who are enjoying those emojis, and be sure to join the membership starting at 99p for more emojis to be accessed as well and more perks. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Smash up the likes. We're going to be redirecting and rating Sarcasm City. So go over to the Q&A, ask your questions, and do your thing. But as usual, guys, much love. Thank you for being here. We'll catch you again for the Arsenal game. We're going to be reacting to that and that match on Saturday. So it should be Saturday around 10 UK time. But yeah, we'll see you then. As always, guys, have a great night. Stay casual. Peace.
Havertz in.